Bears coming back in nice.
Yeah. All right, everybody. It's Friday. It's Open Comms. Welcome. We're back.
We did it.
We made it. Another week.
Hello.
Another week in the
Hi.
books.
I mean, yeah, we want to just open up with a shot for Spider, and then we can get into
We'll talk hockey.
yeah, talk some hockey. Shots for CCP Spider. He hit his 10-year mark. He was in the shop. Did he ever post what sword he got? Because the only one I saw was he had a whole wall of swords behind him.
Well, it's the 10-year sword.
Right.
If you get to choose the style of sword, right?
Yeah, you get to pick what sword they basically take you to a sword shop and you pick out your sword that they get you.
I think most of them choose like Viking style swords.
Wait, they take you to a sword shop and an island where you can't actually have them.
Yeah, they take you to House of Knives, which is
you
actually on
In
a
the mall.
barge floating in like neutral waters, just off of
3
the
miles
island.
out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
3
it
miles out.
technically is?
You go out there.
It's
I don't
a
know. I'm
journey.
just making shit up.
Oh, okay. I was damn it! Why am I so gullible? I believe this shit every fucking time. One of these days I'm gonna catch it. But anyway, shots of Spider. Congrats on the 10 years.
Congrats on 10 years, CCP.
Do we have a
Spider.
link to the tweet?
I can find it. I didn't.
I got it.
Cool.
'Cause
But,
it comes with a picture of Spider.
Yeah,
And the last time I remember seeing Spider, he was on this show, shaving his head.
that's right. That was that last year?
His hair's coming back very nice.
Wasn't that
That was
New Year?
2020 because I think it was for the fires.
2020? Yeah.
It was for the Australia fire. So it's been a couple of years now.
Yep. He hasn't been on this show since.
Yeah,
So it was like-
that's true.
CCP
It was like
Spider,
charity related.
You can come on whenever you want.
Yeah,
bro.
it was funny. He's like, if we get 10,000 plex, I'll shave my head. We're all like, whoa, dude, you're setting the bar real low. We'll get that in
Yeah,
like
it's not
30
very high.
seconds.
Before he could get it out of his mouth, we were at like 7,500 plus.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna
Oh.
like. I mean,
Oh no.
and so like, you should. He's like, should I set it higher? It's like you should probably set it higher. It's like 20,000. We're like, all right, that's still gonna happen. So,
Tell me you don't pay for your gameplay without
Yeah.
telling me you don't pay for your game.
but yeah. So how about them Oilers?
Fuck off. All right, listen.
So now I gotta go
Here's-
dig out the hat apparently.
Go
Go on.
get your fucking hat, you bearded
See
asshole.
if I can find it.
You're no longer handsome. You're a son of a bitch. So what had happened was Battle of Alberta, right? Edmonton Oilers versus Calgary Flames hasn't happened in the playoffs since 1991. Kind of a big deal. Game 1, crazy game. The final score was like 9-5 or something like that.
Oh, shit.
Anyways, we won that game. Calgary Flames up 1-0, and then we went down 3-1. So now it's a best of 7 series. We're down 3 games to 1 game. They played last night, and the score was 4-4 in the third period. We scored to make it 5-4, and then they were like, "No, we're gonna review the play." So they go upstairs. They start looking at the replays, and they come back and they go, "No goal. It was kicked in, and that's not allowed."
How do they determine if
like-
it's kick? Because it can deflect off someone's foot, and
Right.
that's fine. So how do they?
So they
if there's a motion,
thanks to like the magic of television and instant replays, they showed various other kicked in goals throughout the year that were counted, and you can see obvious kicking motion. Like the guy's got his stick tied up, so he just sticks his foot out and literally kicks the puck in the net. And they're like, "That
Just give a
goes."
little nudge.
Guy will be skating towards the net, and somebody will shoot it to him, and he'll go to kick it up to his stick, but he'll miss with the stick, but the puck will go in. That goal's good. But if that's a kicking mode, those goals shouldn't have counted. This guy
Okay.
was the Edmonton Oilers player was in his legs, like he had fallen over and he was pushing the Calgary player into the net. So the Calgary player, in an effort not to hit the goalie, was trying to break and turn. The puck went off this guy's skate as he's falling down and goes in the net. It was already going in the net. It just happened to touch a skate. Anyways, they call it no goal. So it becomes 4-4 again in the third period. They go to overtime. Connor McDavid scores the overtime goal. Calgary Flames out of the playoffs.
Wow.
So as far as I'm concerned, hockey is fucking done for the year. I don't give a shit what happens now after this.
That's kind of fucked though, because I mean,
Putting my jersey back in the box. I'm never going to speak about it again.
man, that's you hate seeing calls like that happen that determine a game when it's so.
The same thing happened to them in 2004. They were in the Stanley Cup Finals, and they lost. They lost the Stanley Cup because the refs fucked up a call.
Yeah, so like, when it
As is
comes to
tradition, the Calgary Flames get fucked because of the officiating.
when it
Anyways, that's the end of hockey.
yeah, well, when it comes to stuff like that, I think it should almost be like in football when someone challenges a play, or if they make a call and then they go to review it, they can't overturn the call just because it's like they have to have definitive like evidence, like without a doubt, that they need to overturn the call. If they're kind of like, well, he was falling, it went off his foot, at that point, to me, it's like that's indecisive. Then you count the goal. I mean,
Well,
I'm so impressed that guy's so multi-talented. Like, did he already give up on UFC and boxing?
who? What are you talking about?
who?
Oh, Connor
Connor-
McDavid. Yeah.
Oh, you mean Conor McGregor?
Yeah,
It's
I
a
was
different
touching on.
Yeah.
I think it was Drayden last week. Was like, what? Conor
I
McGregor?
thought someone said Conor McGregor, and I was like, wait, he's playing hockey now. Is he talking as much shit as he did before?
This drunk asshole can't be stopped.
He just fucking.
I remember he's
ring.
like talking a bunch of shit, and then he goes.
Dude,
into
I
like
can imagine him trying to ice skate like that.
Well, it's like didn't he go into that match where it was like actual
Just get
boxing, not
laid out.
UFC, and he was going against, he like was talking shit to like this heavyweight boxer, and so they do a boxing match, and he
Floyd-
just gets annihilated.
Mayweather.
He's not a
Floyd
heavyweight.
yeah,
but
didn't Mayweather annihilate him?
I think Floyd Mayweather is like a lightweight.
I mean, Floyd Mayweather won because it was a
Yeah,
boxing
he
match.
did.
Right.
Well, there was that UFC match where he broke his leg. Like his leg was visibly broken. Like the bones are broken.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
still on the ground talking shit to the guy that just broke his leg. And I'm like, dude, your leg's
So-
broken.
I don't follow a ton of UFC stuff, but I don't care for Conor McGregor much. And there was some clips from when he fought Khabib. And I guess he had been talking mad shit about Khabib's like family and his religion, this, that, and the other. And during some interview, he was like, I'm gonna change his face. And then during the fight, they have it like mic'd up or whatever, close to the fence. And he's like, let's talk now. Let's talk now. And he's just like beating the shit out of him. He's like, you don't have anything to say? Let's talk now. It's like, oh, these
Yeah.
guys are madmen. I hope to never run into one and act like a dumbass.
Just full of like testosterone, like unhealthy levels of it.
Sigma as fuck.
Some of the shit talk in UFC is kind of funny because it's literally all for show. It's just to get people to buy the pay-per-view.
I think most of it, at least. I
The
think in
amount of
that
money
situation,
in
it was
UFC.
somewhat real. Because that was also the one where,
Yeah.
if I recall, he jumped out into the crowd, like, to fight his team. And it got,
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of serious, it seemed like.
The amount
And who
of,
knows? It could be coached, just like like wrestling shit. But
But
that seemed
like,
pretty, he seemed
so,
pretty.
like, you know, the
grieved.
like the pre-fight weigh-ins where they're standing there,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna take the picture of like the two of them facing off, like the good promo picture. And I've seen pictures where like the dudes are facing off, and then like they just crack up laughing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There was
This
that
is
one guy
ridiculous.
who got kind of like, he never made it very far, but he kind of had a shtick of like, he like brought one guy flowers.
Yeah,
He did like
yeah.
paper, scissors, rock. I think he like maybe kissed the guy in the cheek or something. Like he did like a bunch of cheeky shit during those, and like people started to love him.
There's so much money in UFC. It's unreal how much money is in that.
And most
You
of it's
guys,
in Dana's pocket.
You guys ever play video games?
I have. I
Sometimes.
Good
Me too.
lord, hey.
was getting raped at Battlefield earlier.
Oh, is this
Bad
Red Line 13, the CSM candidate?
It might be.
One and only.
Well, is it or ain't it?
Well, say hello.
It is. Hello. Hi, it's me.
It is I, Redline.
We've been here before.
But we can't stop here. This is backcountry.
This is our country.
Witnessed Akaroth.
Witness. God, it's such a good fucking movie.
So I found that hat really quick. I did not expect to, because I have not unpacked my house that I'm
He's
bought
got
a year ago.
Frame on the wall for it. He just hangs it up. He's like, "Oh, where's the? Oh, there it is, man." Huh.
Yeah,
I knew
it's
roundabout
in
where
a-
it'd be, and it was easy.
It's in a glass case in the other room. It says "break in case of asshole." So he just went and broke
He has
it,
to get a
pulled
new
it out.
piece of glass every day.
99 problems, but the Flames ain't one. That's a multi-layered one.
So
Right.
who's still in the playoffs at this point?
I don't care.
It doesn't
I'm done.
matter. That's how it was. Like Seahawks won that first Super Bowl, and it's like, yeah, we're so good, and then now it's like, oh, they didn't make it. Fuck football. I don't care.
You want to talk about little shit first? Like
Yeah.
this 2-for-1 sale.
Is there big shit this
Have
week?
you seen that? There's CSM candidates.
Yeah, CSM.
Oh, wait, Anger Games is the big thing this week.
Angry
And
Game. That
Angry
starts
Games.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. Ooh.
So there's a 2-for-1 sale on until the 30th of May. You can get a 2-for-1 offer on both skill extractors and alpha injectors. So a skill extractor is pretty obvious, right? You can extract skills from your player and then reallocate them somewhere else, or you can sell that skill injector on the market for ISK, or you can just sell the extractor for ISK. Whatever, who gives a shit? Or you can buy an alpha injector, which is only used by alpha clones, and it's 50,000 skill points. But you can get it's a 2-for-1 deal right now. So if you feel like sucking all the goo out of your character and I don't know, selling it, then whatever. I don't know what you're gonna do.
I couldn't.
You do that.
I've put so much time into it. I can't take it out.
So when I got busted for having 3 accounts, I bought a bunch of extractors and then sucked the goo out of 2 of my accounts and put it into the 1 account. So that was a pretty good.
When you say
use
you
of
got
that.
busted,
You got
was that like a
Mrs. Elby? is
spousal?
What's this?
Yeah, my the warden here and
sure?
she found out that I had 3 accounts and I was paying for all 3, and he was like, "Nope, you're down to 1, bud."
Oh no.
Goodness.
So I took some ISK and transferred the skill points over.
Man, it would have been the price of 4 accounts if you'd kept them on.
No. Could have saved money if we just waited for now for this 2-for-1 sale.
See what you did, babe.
Now look, who's the financial wizard now?
It's saving money because if you spend this much, you get this much for free.
That's right.
It's saving money.
I wasn't going to buy it anyway, but since it's on sale,
I
Right.
love the game.
You know what though, LB? If you did have 3 accounts still, you'd be paying the price of 4.
That's what he was just
I
saying.
just said that. I did
Oh,
the
I'm
math
sorry.
already, Redline.
I'm a little slow at math.
Which is why
That's
you would
okay.
take advantage of the 2-for-1 sale to reduce your number of accounts by putting the skill points into the other ones.
Your platform isn't
I
the
only
economy,
have the
Redline,
one,
so
buddy.
we're gonna gloss over it.
I only
you
have
get-
the 1 account.
Oh, a single account master race?
Yes, sir.
There are dozens of us. So there you got let me get you a link for this fucking sale. There you go.
Got him.
What else do you want to talk about? You want to talk about this popularity contest that they're having?
There's a little
Riveting.
bit. I mean, is there new CSM info? People, I was
Well,
gonna
they-
see if we get some.
They
we
put out
have-
a meet your candidates fucking
Redline, what are you
post.
going to do when you make it on the CSM?
I'm gonna make Eve great again.
Yeah,
Ooh.
but
Oh
like
no!
how?
Dr.
Is that
Pepper
really
and all
the
the water
opening
fountains.
question?
Redline, when you get on the CSM, I'm gonna bug the hell out of you
Oh yeah.
to get Mike Azariah his own school bus monument in the game.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, or he could have like a
Dude,
special
some
school bus colored skin for his
Yeah.
for his
That's what I-
bowhead, just like an
doing-
actual like
He's been doing that for 7 years.
yeah.
He
I mean,
deserves a monument.
if they're gonna let
Giant
Kribba
golden
have
school bus.
if they're gonna let Kribba have the Veld knot, no one else is allowed to have that.
I mean,
Okay.
other people can have belt knots. There's
No.
high sec capitals. No, 100%. You just can't put aggressive mods on them. You can't fight people with them.
Oh, I guess
and
he's
you
the only
can't
one that really.
and you can't
uses
sell them. Like it stays with you or whatever. They're
Yeah.
very
Well, you also have
restricted.
to have had one in high sec from back when you could
Right.
actually do that,
Yeah.
so.
Right. So there's no way to get them at this point, to my knowledge.
Yeah, you can't get them in
But-
there anymore.
But there's still high set capitals. Like every few years, somebody's like, "Hey, I'm quitting the game. I'm docking my Dread in 4/4 or something." You know.
I don't know. Like, I think they should give him a school bus skin. Make it happen, Redline.
Listen, Redline, we're voting for you, so you owe us, okay?
Yeah. Like this is how this works.
You bet.
You bet.
betcha. You betcha.
You
We're-
betcha.
This is like unpaid
Oh, for sure.
publicity you're getting right now, like airtime and whatnot.
Do you guys
I
want to
know,
go
it's
to the
fantastic.
Packer game later?
All 20 people.
Well, for sure.
Keep messing with the volume. Why is it going up?
No,
and
but
down?
you know what? The answer to the question of what I would do, the first thing that I'm gonna do,
What would be the first thing you do once you're in office?
Hey,
I have
come here.
no idea.
Okay, that's
Oh,
fair.
why would you ask?
Because I am not gonna pretend like the CSM can change everything.
Nobody said you had to change
Right.
something. You said the first thing I'm gonna do.
So, okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is start reading,
There you
if
go.
I'm being honest. Because by
Uh,
my math, I'd have about 16 years to catch up on.
I don't think you have to read them all.
Thanks for the gift sub there.
Read line.
Yeah, that's a good.
Tamber. I don't know. I was saying Towder, but
Tam-
Tamber.
Timbre.
Tamber. I think I was gonna be like Taldari.
Is
Pamber.
it Jeffrey?
Tony-
Jeffrey Tambor?
I don't know. I'm all mixed up.
Jeffrey Dahmer?
Jeffrey Tambor. He was in Arrested Development, among a million other things.
Jeffrey Dahmer was in Arrested Development?
Gross.
Sir Ian McClellan's birthday was this week.
Who?
Dude. I mean, that's a stretch for a shot.
I love
I
it.
didn't say do a
Love
shot
it.
I drink. I just threw it out there.
I love it when we have nothing to talk about.
There's-
so
there's-
it's so
There's sadder things to do shots to, but I didn't propose a shot. I just made a happy comment and drank it.
Yeah, that's.
Do you want
we
something to
could
talk about?
we could go through the CSM 17 candidate list, candidate by candidate, if you wanted.
No.
I only
we
know a
don't
few,
need
Sam.
that.
No.
Can I?
But maybe
Jaden,
this
can
is
I
why-
provide you a graphic to
because
put
we
on
don't go?
stream for a moment?
No,
graphic.
we don't do graphics.
Then you really gotta like be at our beck and call.
What is the graphic?
I'm providing it currently.
Provisions.
Who and where?
To Drayden specifically.
Play hot or not, Reen says.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
On the CSM candidates.
All right, I'll get this in there in a sec.
I do want to ask a question though on the topic of CSM. I've been asking like everybody I talk to this, like, do you guys play as much now as you used to?
No.
No.
No. I don't know anybody that could. We're all getting old.
What would bring you back?
High school, maybe college. Just not having responsibilities.
So for you, the lottery would bring you back.
That's right. There you go. That's a good substitute.
Because you still
As
like
an
you
abundance of
really
wealth.
like. You still really like playing, right?
I would be probably running a few more accounts if I was tons of free time and money wasn't an issue.
What about you, Mac?
Where the hell did this picture go?
It's I have an answer, but it's probably a weird one, and it's nothing that can really pass. Okay, wait, okay. I don't know what would bring me back to Eve right now. But I can say that what I really miss is the spirit of CCP from like 2009 to 2015. And this is like so vague. This is such a this is a nonsense answer. fuck it, pass. I can't articulate it.
What the hell kind of file type is this, Redline? I'm saving it and it's not showing up. Whatever. I'll just fucking screen capture it.
It's a
Take a picture of it with your
PNG,
cell
I
phone.
think.
It's a what? I know what the picture is. I can see it, but when I save it, and then I go to add an image on OBS, it doesn't show. It doesn't show up in the list of files. It's like some weird file type you used or something. I don't know. Do people not use just PNGs anymore? Is that like old shit now?
No, people use PNGs. Who doesn't use PNGs?
Oh, I don't know. Just
I just didn't use a PNG in this instance because it's a rather large picture.
Oh.
there.
What, did you put it on the stream?
Just why not just
Yeah.
drop the file into OBS?
I can't. That's what I said. I saved the file and it didn't save it as a specific type. And then when I went to the folder to put it up, it's not there. If I go to my file browser, the thing is there. That's what I was saying. Like I don't know what type of file you use, but
Big pain.
So the files are in the computer?
yeah, I don't know.
In the computer?
Like, does PNG not work for larger files? Is that what it is? I don't know. I'm confused.
You gotta take it off the screen. It's embarrassing me.
No.
What? You suggested this.
You're the
I
strangest
know
person
it's embarrassing.
ever.
Yeah, type of file, it just says file. that's the file type it's saved as. Anyway. But anyway.
Anyways, that's it. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Well, we do have the Anger games. Those are starting tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah, they are.
It's gonna be on CCP's channel.
It is? Really?
CCP TV. It's where it'll
Oh,
be.
Rain.
Oh, shit. Look at that.
Rain's doing the CSM debates tomorrow.
Oh, is that on Talking to Stations?
No,
On New Eden Post.
on the New Eden Post.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Start?
You guys have a channel.
I mean, she's all over the place these days. It was a valid statement.
Yeah. So Anger
Maybe
games. Got teams going.
1200 Eve.
Round 1 is tomorrow. Round 2 is what is it? Sunday. I have to think of the names. There's a lot of fucking teams in there.
I think we mentioned these teams last week.
Did we go over the whole thing? I don't remember.
We
have.
talked about Volt A. And then
Volt
further
A,
down
Volt
the list,
B,
there
we did
was
touch on them a little
Volt
bit.
E, right? And how there was Stay Frosty and Noir and
Oh right, Goodfellas. Goddamn. There's no Quebec Legion, so I'm a little sad.
why? What's the backstory for that again?
I don't know. They were in the Alliance for one time, and I put all my fucking money on a bet. The Eve bet. That was back when Eve bet was still alive, and I fucking dumped like
Alright.
$3 billion on a bet on them, and lost all my money. But yeah, we could do shots. I mean, do we do death shots now?
No.
I was just gonna
No.
completely avoid
No.
it.
No.
'Cause I think if you do one, you got to do
Nope.
many.
Oh! I was
Listen.
talking about Ray Liotta, but yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I know. We're not even gonna. Let's move on.
Okay,
Right here and now. Let's move on.
Rain's trying to
Well-
kill people.
We'll
I-
save it for next week.
I wasn't even thinking of that. That's my bad. But yeah, I mean that's
One for
about
me.
it for Eve.
One for my homies.
That's it. That's it for Eve news. So now we can just shoot the shit. This is what I was hoping would happen. We would do the 20 minutes worth of this week's Eve news, and then we'd just shoot the shit for the rest of the show.
I mean, unless we dig into CSM or Anger games, it was kind of a quiet week, I feel like.
It was a very quiet week. There wasn't even a community beat this week.
I noticed that, actually, yeah.
Nothing happened, which is
Well,
fine.
like,
We're not-
where's my extra $5 going? This is horse shit.
Pay $5 more,
Where's the
less
the
content.
I need a pulse video, a community beat, and a new scope video, or I'm fucking unsubbing.
Well,
On
you
the
already
raid.
did with 2.
That's right.
That's right. You gotta
That was years ago.
gonna unsub
Oh.
the third.
Oh, I thought that was recent.
No, it was like years ago.
Oh.
6 years ago? 8 years ago? It was a while ago.
Charity drive. Oh, there's
How's
that.
Sprechen
man,
up? How's
how's
y'all's
your,
contest?
How's that going?
I saw you tweet about it.
Yeah, I think as of right now, I'm winning the contest against Rain.
Ooh.
What were you guys doing? You were doing like no masturbation May or something like that? Was
No,
that-
it's
Why is there so many months that people do that?
I know so many months.
People are twisted and mean to
Listen,
themselves.
masturbation
That's the
doesn't-
society we live in now.
No, Rain and I have been fundraising for the American Heart Association this month because May is Stroke Awareness Month.
Oh, so you're masturbating extra.
Yeah, extra hard.
Keep your heart strong, and it's
Extra
stroke
hard.
month, so you got to stroke.
Yeah, the heart's a muscle, so you want to work it out. So, anyway, so we were kind of tapped to do this fundraiser, and then so I said to her, let's like have a little contest to see between the two of us who can raise the most money, and we decided the loser would have to play a game that they hate for 2 hours, at least 2 hours. So yeah, we both set our fundraiser goals on Tiltify at $500, and I hit mine last night. But there's still a few days left in the month, so she could still beat me. But as of right now, oh, and the other thing, I said if I hit 500, then I would sing a 10-minute mashup karaoke song on my stream, which I'm doing tomorrow. If anybody wants to waste their time there.
I want to hear you sing "Push It" by Salt and Pepper.
Push it.
It's
a good one. Oh, man.
Grooving
I'm
by
gonna
day.
try
and
that
night.
mac and
Sweat.
pizza. I'm gonna try to make that this weekend. That's my goal.
Oh, that looked legitimate.
I'm not kidding.
good.
Was there
That looked crazy to me.
That
That
looked
doesn't even look
really
good. It just
good.
looks crazy.
looks good to me.
was there any sauce like besides obviously the cheese sauce?
I don't think
cheese.
so. I think it. I'm think. So the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna
Maybe
make like
smell
a
tomato?
creamy cheese sauce that's gonna go and like filter down onto the dough, and then I'm gonna cover it with some just actual shredded
Oh,
cheddar,
yeah.
and then bake it so that shredded cheddar like bakes over top. I'll probably mix in a little mozzarella and stuff, or mozz in there and stuff.
You have like a bubbly layer of cheese on top,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the sauce. Yeah, okay.
With the noodles. And I'm gonna probably get the big.
Are you gonna do
big
like a
curly
boxed mac and cheese, or are you gonna make
No,
like
no,
a
I'm gonna make
real
it from scratch.
actual
Actual
nice,
mac,
nice.
yeah. Like make a roux, get some milk in there, some cheese, melt it. I'm
That's the
gonna try.
kind of dedication I like. to hear.
I have to relook up the recipe. I did a recipe. I made my own pizza. And I made my own dough from scratch. So I'm gonna try and do that. I'm gonna make my own dough, put it in the fridge, or you gotta put it in the. So I guess like when you make the dough and stuff, you get the yeast. You got to let it rise, but it needs to rise in like a slightly warmer area. So generally you want it to be like around 100 degrees or so, I think 100, 110 or something. So that's too low for the oven, but it's not high. Like the inside temperature isn't that high. So what I did was I preheated the oven to like 180. And once it got up to like 120, 130, I shut it off and then just put the dough in there and closed it and let it sit there for like 20, 30 minutes. So I was like, that's probably good enough. So once it does that, and then you put it in the fridge, let it kind of chill a little bit, and then so I'm gonna get the dough working tomorrow. Maybe I think Sunday is when I'm gonna try and actually make it, because then I get the dough set and ready. I don't know.
My oven has a proof setting on it, which is what you're doing. You're proofing.
Yeah,
the dough,
proofing
right?
the dough. Yeah, but
My oven has a
doesn't.
proof setting on it, so you just hit the proof, and then it warms up to the
See,
appropriate
that's-
temperature, and then you chuck your dough.
That's
in
a
there.
high tech oven. Yeah, the oven here, the lowest it goes is 180, which is too hot. That's too hot for proofing. So
Just crack the oven.
it's just crack. Yeah.
It's how you do like jerky when you don't have a dehydrator.
So yeah, we'll try that, and I'll probably do like a garlic butter based on the dough, and then put the mac on top, and then I think it'll be pretty good. It looked delicious to me, so So yeah, that's the highlight of my weekend. I'm looking forward to.
It's gonna be good.
I think so.
Pretty solid highlight, honestly.
Happy
The parts
Memorial
for
Day.
my kids' computers came in, so that's gonna be fun.
Oh, you gonna
Oh,
build that one on
I just
stream too?
bought them. I bought them extra fans because their computers they're not cooling properly.
Oh,
Fans and fucking some LGBTQ lights to go in there,
Right.
Hell yeah.
and then I'm gonna take their coolers off, clean them off, and put new thermal paste on.
Nice.
That's my weekend. All
I should
planned out.
probably do that.
Sounds awfully domesticated. I like it.
I might actually chuck 3 more fans into my beast just for fun.
Yeah,
Just
you think he's a
because.
monster, is it? Didn't
Well,
you have?
like
Didn't you already
Yeah,
have
just
like
3
mega
more
fan? Like you had a
fans.
fan that was like this big in there or something.
so okay. I have an all-in-one cooler for my CPU, right? And that's so the radiator's on the top. And then I have a GPU that has an all-in-one cooler of its own. So it's a liquid cooled GPU. And that's got its own radiator on the front. The GPU has a push-pull setup on it for fans. So it's got fans on the front and back of the radiator. So it's pulling air in and then pushing it through the radiator and it's pushing it right out. So, cool. So it gets extra cooling for the GPU. And I've never seen the thing crack like 50 degrees Celsius.
Nice.
The CPU is going to get the same treatment. So I'm going to put push-pull fans on that radiator as well. So it's going to be like a fucking, it's going to be crazy. So it should add some extra cooling to it.
What's the noise like?
It's really quiet. Unless I go in there and put it on turbo settings, and then the thing sounds
Sure.
like a fucking
Jet taking off.
jet. Yeah.
I always thought that was interesting when people notice that because, like, we all wear headphones. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Mine.
was never bothered.
I need to probably. I have a can of air. I need to probably blow mine out, but I haven't done it in a while. But I think I need.
Oh, I
like-
bought a duster on Amazon, like a handheld motorized one.
Oh.
I'm gonna do that too.
So, but mine. So
Instead of
mine in
using
the
a
front-
can of air, I have one that just fucking has a motor on it.
Oh, that's not bad.
So it's like is it like a tiny leaf blower?
It is like a tiny leaf blower. That's right. That charges with a
sounds
USB cable.
amazing. I need to find one.
I used it on my son. It was funny.
But like, so mine on the front, it's like where all the slots would be for adding drives and stuff like that. It's got the little plastic covers with a bunch of little tiny holes in them, but then they have the foam, so it doesn't suck just actual dust into the machine. It keeps a lot of dust out. But a lot of those holes are getting packed full of dust on the outside, so I don't think that they're allowing much airflow through, and I need to like really get in there and clean it because I feel like my PC's been running hotter as of late than it normally does. Like it's fucking hot in this room. I'm gonna have to open a window soon. Could just be that it's getting to be summer now.
I was gonna say that climate change, summertime.
Yeah, global warming in my room.
Yep.
Probably
At
CO2
this time of
levels are-
day, at this time of year, localized
Localized
entirely
completely in
within
your
kitchen.
Yeah, watch out for global warming in the entryway.
Can I see it?
What's that from?
It's the
The
Simpsons.
Simpsons.
Oh.
Oh,
When Superintendent Chalmers was coming to Principal Skinner's house for dinner,
Oh, yeah.
Steamed hams.
I do remember that episode.
he burnt the dinner in the oven and he was going to sneak out the window and go to Krusty Burger and get a bunch of Krusty Burgers and bring them back. But at one point, the door opens to the kitchen and the oven is completely on fire.
Let's
And
just
so he
link
closes the door.
video, because as
Yeah.
you explain it, it's not
Right.
nearly as funny.
You're right. Let's get the video.
What was
I'll
the
find it.
yeah? Where's the
Super Nintendo Chalmers?
What I love about this is how it has been memed into oblivion. There's been so many remixes and like recontextualizations of this clip, this scenario. They're all over YouTube and they're all amazing.
I feel like we got to watch it on the show. Otherwise,
I'll
we're
put it
all
on
tipping
here,
out
one
for
second.
3 minutes.
Everybody just take 3 minutes. Well, yeah, maybe play it on. Okay, 3 minutes is kind of a long. Play it on the stream, Drayden.
Can it? going. One sec.
Get us copyright striked.
Well,
Get us
we'll make
banned.
sure and do commentary on it, and that way it's fair use
I mean, it is.
or whatever.
It is like Simpsons is by Fox, right? Which means by Disney. Oh, we're definitely getting sued. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
we're dead. We're dead.
Well, Seymour, I heard somewhere. Let's see, what was it? Window capture. The YouTubes. There.
You just gotta mirror it, and that way it throws off all the algorithms.
No, it's funny because there we go.
Well, Seymour, I made it, despite your directions.
Ah, Superintendent Chalmers, welcome. I hope you're prepared for an unforgettable luncheon.
Ah.
Oh, I have seen this.
Oh, ye gods! My roast is ruined! But what if I were to purchase
shrink it
fast
down so you
food and
catch our
disguise it as my own cooking? Ho, 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 ho. Delightfully devilish, Seymour.
Skinner with his crazy explanations. The superintendent's gonna need his medications. When you hear Skinner's lame exaggerations, there'll be trouble in town tonight.
Seymour!
Superintendent, I was just stretching my calves on the windowsill. Isometric exercise. Care to join me?
Why is there smoke coming out of your oven, Seymour?
Oh, that isn't smoke. It's steam. Steamed from the steamed clams we're having. Mmm, steamed clams.
Oh, now you get steamed clams though.
Superintendent, I hope you're ready for mouth-watering
Brayden, shrink it down
hamburgers.
so you can see our
I thought
reaction.
we were having steamed clams.
No, I said steamed hams. That's what I call hamburgers.
You call hamburgers steamed hams?
Yes, it's a regional dialect.
Uh-huh. What region?
Upstate New York?
Really? Well, I'm from Utica, and I've never heard anyone use the phrase steamed hams.
Oh, not in Utica. No, it's an Albany expression.
I see. You know, these hamburgers are quite similar to the ones they have at Krusty Burger.
Oh, no. Patented Skinner Burgers. Old family recipe.
For steamed hams.
Yes.
Yes, and you call them steamed hams despite the fact they are obviously grilled.
You know, one thing I should... Excuse me for 1 second.
Of course.
Oh, well, that was wonderful. Good time was had by all. I'm pooped.
Yes, I should be. Good Lord, what is happening in there?
Aurora Borealis?
Aurora Borealis. At this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen.
Yes.
May I see it?
No.
Seymour, the house is on fire!
No, Mother, it's just the Northern Lights.
Well, Seymour, you are an odd fellow, but I must say, you steam a good ham.
Help! Help!
I do remember that.
That is so good.
Why didn't he turn the oven off?
There's
Right, yeah, I
like
don't understand.
the
Continued
the
to escalate.
lies compound upon lies.
So funny story dealing with like smoke coming out of the oven. This was like a couple months ago, maybe. No, it was more than that. It was right as the daylight savings time changed, like a week or two after that. So I was it was after an Opacom show, but I'm like I'm coherent. I'm good enough. I'll cook a pizza. So I go down there, preheat the oven, put the pizza in the oven. I look at the time on the oven. It says 2 o'clock. I'm like, okay, so 15 minutes. I'll set my phone alarm for 2:15. Sounds good. I go sit on the couch. I'm waiting. Must have fallen asleep. And I wake up, and it's like a little smoky. And I'm like, what the hell? And I go and open the oven. It's like a black puck of a pizza. It's not even like the whole thing is black through. It's like a piece of charcoal sitting on the thing. And I was like, what the hell happened? The clock on the oven said 2 o'clock, but we hadn't changed that for daylight savings, so it was actually 3 o'clock, and I set my alarm for 2:15, so it was going to go off in 23 hours and 45 minutes. So yeah,
If
so
you didn't fall asleep.
so it just didn't go off, and I woke up. And I was like, and I'm just like, fuck, my roommates are asleep. And the thing is, like, I had to turn the oven off, and I'm like, if I open this up, it's just gonna pour smoke out, and the alarm's gonna go off, and they're gonna. So I had to like, I turned the fan on the microwave on and just let this the back vent on the oven. I just waited for a while for like some of the smoke to get pulled out, and then like I did this quick like grab the thing like with a hot mitt. At least I thought that far ahead instead of trying to just grab it with my hand. And then like I closed the oven, I ran outside, and just threw it on the sidewalk to let it cool down. Yeah, they never found it. And then I opened the windows for like a few hours.
Goodness. I've done that as well with like a little.
It was
frozen
kind of one of those
pizza.
like, fuck, man, I'm not supposed
Passed
to
that
burn shit. Like I'm not supposed to cook stuff if I'm like really drunk. But I was like, I wasn't that drunk. I just like it was daylight savings. It wasn't my fault.
It's a comedy of errors.
But yeah. Where were we? Daylight savings.
We weren't anywhere.
Global warming, Aurora Borealis.
CSM and Hunger Games.
Memorial
That's
Day?
it.
Yeah, it's a holiday weekend in the States.
Oh, dude, 3-day weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I was stoked, and I'm glad that
Oh,
the
I
person,
totally forgot.
I'm glad the person reminded me.
You're supposed to remember it's Memorial.
I know it's
I
Memorial.
know,
Ironically, I forgot that it was Memorial Day.
I had a call today.
Was this the sad one or the not sad one?
This is the sad one. This is for the fallen of past wars.
Because you Canadians,
Veterans
you recently
Day.
had
Veterans Day
your
is celebrating
Memorial
the current and retired servicemen. Memorial Day is for the fallen in battle.
So that one's not sad?
That one's not sad. Veterans Day is for like, current service members, respectful, and then, retired service members, respect. Memorial Day is people that died in war, died in service. Remembrance
One's a
Day.
birthday party, the other one's a funeral.
Kinda. Yeah, one's a
So
remembrance.
this is the funeral?
Thing. This is like the remembrance
the funeral.
one. Yeah.
I know America stuff, okay?
Yeah, Veterans Day. Yeah, I didn't know. I knew it was later in the year. I didn't know that, but yeah, November 11th. That's just saying thank you.
See, we only have the one day,
and it's for
and
both.
it's Remembrance Day, and it's on the 11th,
Yeah.
and it's sad.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
Remembrance Day is like our Memorial Day. Veterans Day that's not a federal holiday. Like some places do close, but most like places are not closed for it. But it's more of like just a thank you to current and former military personnel for your service type of day. It's not like, remembering, people that died in battle type of thing.
Right.
Have you guys
Like
seen-
on Remembrance Day, if you were like, come on in for the big Remembrance Day sale, people would probably send you
bad
nasty
optic.
letters.
Yeah.
Like you don't do that. That's not super
We
cool.
do a lot of sales, but that's because we're so fucking capitalistic here, or whatever you want to call
I
it.
don't know if it's really the weird thing with Memorial Day though, is for some reason Memorial Day has turned into this holiday where everyone likes to go out camping. It's like it's Memorial Weekend. We're all gonna go out camping and have it's not really. I feel like there's not many people that like celebrate the holiday with the intent of what it's designed for. It's
Right.
People aren't like oh hey pay respects to the fallen warriors. It's more of a vacation camping holiday. That's kind of just what it's turned into.
So is it a federal holiday in the States?
It's a
Memorial
federal
Day?
holiday. Yeah, Memorial Day is.
Okay. So there is this debate in Canada of making Remembrance Day a federal holiday. But the argument is that if you make it a holiday, then people will treat it like a holiday. So it becomes, I'm not going to work today, so I'm going to get drunk the night before and then just be hungover the next day, or just like
everybody
whatever.
grieves in different ways.
Yeah, well, I think
Well, I
Stasis
guess,
Stasis has the right of it too. It's a holiday at the start of summer, so it's a long weekend.
That's why there's barbecuing, camping.
It's starting to get warm, nice out. So
Go to the
they're
lake.
They're all gonna get out and go do stuff. But yeah, so.
Anyways, I find it a little weird.
Yeah. They're like, hey, come buy a lawnmower and a new grill and
Right,
all this.
yeah.
You know, you need a new big TV, don't you? Yeah.
And people are like, "Happy Memorial Day." Like, what?
That's
Is it happy?
That's not what it's supposed to be.
Not supposed to be happy. at
Should
all.
you go around saying sad Memorial Day, though?
I don't know if it's well. I would say somber, if that's the right term.
You don't wish anybody a happy
Should
sad day.
Would it be fair to go around and just say, remember? Just walk up to people like on the streets and the sidewalks and just be like, hey,
Remember.
I don't know if
Remember.
it, like, really
Hey,
needs,
don't forget.
I don't think every holiday needs a greeting attached to it.
That's, I agree. I
Can't
agree.
say never forget because that's reserved.
well,
for
yeah,
them.
you can't try to
I
can't try to rip off never forget.
Yeah, I think you could just have Memorial Day and not have to like have an associated phrase for it. You could just be like, it's Memorial Day.
What?
You know,
But
What
then
are we
people don't
talking
acknowledge
about right now?
Memorial
whatever
Day.
we need to.
Memorial Day, because you didn't bring anything to the table, did you, Redline?
That's right.
You didn't tell me how to bring
Remember
stuff
the
to the
Alamo.
table.
Yeah.
Don't you have a platform to talk about?
Yeah, we're like, oh, we got the CSM Redline candidate. You're like, yep. Are you running for the?
I asked
for the,
my
for
question.
the CSM?
He put up your ad. You complained about it.
Yeah, I put your ad. You're
I
like, that's
didn't-
embarrassing. Take it down. It's like you told me to put it up. You made it.
I'm
I
not having Redline on the show anymore.
Yeah,
all right. This will be my last
tough
week
to
on
please.
Open Comms.
yeah. Bring the
Thank
bring
God.
the bear.
There's nothing. There's.
I just
nothing we
wanted
can
to
do make you
understand.
happy.
I just wanted to understand what we were talking about because I didn't.
Holidays
Okay.
and how you treat them with, via greetings, and if you need any sort of intro, how to conversationally approach Memorial Day.
Ah,
My vote is to just tell people to remember.
my vote is just to say hello.
Yeah, but then you're not really addressing the holiday at all.
Right.
I don't want people to forget. Not never forget,
won't.
because we can't use
Trust
that.
me, no one's going to.
People do. Manic didn't even remember until like,
I don't.
10 minutes
I
ago.
don't. Yeah, but it's not like I've. Okay, so I thought it was. I forgot it was Memorial Day. That doesn't mean that I forgot that veterans exist.
If
Right.
it's not about veterans.
Well,
Well,
it's
We
they-
established
all-
this.
It's
They all
You
were
know what I meant.
veterans. Yeah, I mean,
it's not that I forgot that soldiers died in war so that I can speak freely about my government without risking prison.
right.
Eh.
I recognize that, and that's a thing. but just because I forgot that Monday is Memorial Day doesn't mean that their sacrifice was in vain.
right.
But if I would have passed you on the street today and said, remember,
If you
maybe
just
you
said
wouldn't have forgotten.
remember, I don't
Yeah.
think I would know what the fuck you were talking
Oh,
about.
I would have just brought home milk. And then the,
I mean, like, I
didn't
would
forget.
I would spend the rest of the day.
She's using
wor-
KGB agents out in
I would
public
just be
now to remind me
worrying
things.
about what I was supposed to
No,
remember.
if it was
Am I
Memorial Day
forgetting
and someone said that, I would know what they're talking about, but I would still kind of be like, what the fuck? Like
But if they
that
did
would
it
that
the
would kind of be like my
Friday
mental
before
reaction is like,
Memorial
what?
Day.
Like, why would you?
It's-
Why? What? Why
if
would
they
you
did
say
it the
that?
Friday before Memorial Day, would you have any clue what they were referring to?
It's the rememberal scene from Harry Potter where he's like, they sent me a
never seen-
rememberal, but I
I've
can't
never seen
remember what I
Harry
forgot.
Potter.
Remember?
Okay, well, some
ball.
Listen,
Remember? I don't know.
I don't remember.
not
don't
everybody
remember.
likes.
Remember, dude.
Not everybody
So-
likes Harry Potter. I know it's hard to believe, but it's
I'm
true.
not suggesting everyone does. I was just referencing a scene that some
I
people
don't like it.
You assumed that I was familiar with Harry Potter, and I find that
I
offensive.
wasn't talking at you directly at all.
We were.
Are you not?
Are we not? Are we not having a conversation?
I was saying it to the room. It was like a
Oh,
royal
okay.
we.
The general you.
I have another
don't know
video to
General
play.
Yu.
General you. Did you serve under General you?
Yeah, I'm glad that I was reminded because someone called in today with a service thing and they're like, oh yeah, we need this thing, something's not working. And so I'm like, oh yeah, well, okay, well, we're already booked up for the day, but can we get out there Monday? And they're like, yeah. And then she was like, oh, actually, I don't think I'm gonna be. I think I'm off Monday. And I was like, oh yeah, we're closed to Monday too. Thank you for reminding me. Can we do it Tuesday instead? Oh, I almost set something up for a day we're closed. Hell yeah. I have another video though. This has just been a video that's been in my mind for a while now.
Is it a Toby Keith song?
Hell no.
Oof. Isn't it you like a sheep?
forgotten?
Don't forget.
What is it? What do you
Remember.
smell? Manflesh.
Oh, there's no sound. Oh, I have my
gosh
sound.
darn it. They've picked up our trail.
Gosh.
Gosh.
Run out, boys.
Oh, we're gonna get them. We'll show them. We'll show those.
Sorry, that was a Daryl Worley song. That wasn't a Toby Keith song.
I just love it's just the dub over of the orcs in Lord of the Rings, but with normal voices. And this guy does a bunch of these, and it's
sound
so
like-
good. What is it? What do you smell? Man flesh. And they're like, oh my god, gosh darn it. They've picked up our trail. Gosh. So like the gosh thing is so prevalent in all of his videos that now I've caught myself just saying like, gosh darn it all the time. There's a bunch of them on his whole channel. It's all, I think it's one of those channels that if you watch enough things, it'll get over, the joke will get old fairly quickly because it's a lot of reused same old stuff. But it's funny. Like, you know, you watch about 5 to 10 of them, you're like, oh god, it's so hilarious. But after that, you're probably like, it's getting old. But
There's a guy I follow on YouTube. He's a comedian, and every single one of his videos, the format is always the same. Like, you can set your watch to it, but it's still I still find it entertaining. He's a funny guy.
yeah,
But his editing-
there's a channel as well. I think it's something he is the guy's name, and he basically does like you know, like Chinese parents with their kids, and he like does the whole, he plays both parts where it's like failure, like when I was 6 I invented calculus to get through math, you know, like I don't know, it sounds dumb when I say it, but it's
Is that the emotional damage guy?
yeah, that guy. It's pretty
Right,
fucking
yeah.
funny. But I mean, after you watch, it's the same thing. Like after you watch a bunch of them, you're like, it's the same joke delivered over and over and over. But
Yeah. The character that's a child has no accent. The character that's a parent has an Asian accent.
yeah,
Ha 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 ha.
yeah, stereotypical Chinese guy. But
Hilarious.
man flesh. God damn it. Gosh darn it.
Gosh.
He's done a bunch. So there's like a 300 trailer they did. It's like when Xerxes turns around going, oh, it's like, gosh. Fucking he's got some good editing.
I don't know if y'all ever saw the meme of that one where they like Candyland the trailer. So they replace all the swords with like candy canes and different stuff, and dub over any like profanity or anything questionable.
They make it like a rated G version.
Yeah. And so like that one scene where somebody's like jumping over all the guy's shield and stuff, and they like dive into the crowd and stab somebody or something. He's like, brush your teeth, and he's got like a toothbrush. It was silly. It was earlier internet.
Oh man, I have so many tabs open. What am I, Rain? Ha! Dude, I had like 12,
wow, you
I had
linked-
12 tabs open. That's unheard of. I don't ever have more than like 3. What the fuck? Yeah, Rain, I called you out.
LB linked the song. It doesn't like South Park or somebody have like a good meme of this sort of thing?
I think so, yeah. It might be on Team America World Police. That might be it.
Maybe.
What a dude, we have to watch that
Love
movie
that
one of these
movie.
days.
Love
I
that
don't.
movie.
Is that like inappropriate nowadays? I don't know.
Oh,
It's hard to say with Matt. Was it Matt Stone, Trey Parker?
I would venture to say most of their stuff is inappropriate, but that
well,
doesn't
I
mean
mean,
you shouldn't watch it.
It's inappropriate, but I mean they
Define
always,
inappropriate.
yeah.
I
mean,
guess
who-
just yeah.
it depends on
I've
who you're
always
talking
I thought the movie was hilarious, but I'm just saying like now I don't know. It's
like, comedy with a message is always good. With,
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I just love the God, was it the X-rated version of I saw that movie in theaters and laughed, and then
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
here's the unrated. I'm like, what's unrated about it? And then you get to the ones
What's
you're
that?
like,
Yeah.
oh, oh,
There's an extended an obscenely extended sex scene.
It's like mannequin sex. It's like or not. It's
puppets.
what is it?
Literally puppets.
Marionette sex. That's what it is.
Marionettes.
Marionettes, yeah.
They're literally puppets having sex, but it is, oh boy.
There's some neat, well, not neat, but like interesting stories from the making of that movie, like the Matt Damon marionette. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
I think we talked,
Matt
didn't we talk
Damon.
about this last
We did
week?
talk about this last week. They couldn't get the marionette to look not retarded, so they gave him that
They couldn't.
the mentally handicapped voice.
It's
Just they were
this
like,
one
"Fuck it, we
puppet.
can't get it to work."
This one
Just
puppet.
make him-
We can't make it work.
It was like only Matt Damon. Like, of course it was
Yeah.
Matt Damon. It's like, we
Matt
can't
Damon.
make it look
It's
normal.
Like we could do a puppet for everyone else, but this one specific person's
Something
puppet, we
about
just
Matt
can't do it.
Damon's
It's like,
face.
well, we
Every
better
time we
change
make
the
it-
whole persona then.
Take all his lines out.
Let's bake it into his character.
Oh fuck.
And then I think we talked about this one last week too, with the marionette that was puking in the alley.
The
it
doll.
was a malfunction.
They spent a lot of money on. They had multiple marionettes for various. Like the main character had like 5 or 6 different puppets that they used for stuff, but that one was supposed to be able to do the vomit. But then I think like a gasket seal broke, and so the computer chip or something on there got wet and started shorting out. So it just started like blah 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 blah. It started like malfunctioning and that's why you see like the smoke coming out of it a little bit. Because it's literally the doll is burning up while it's like just malfunctioning and blasting stuff out. And the guys filming it were cracking up so hard they couldn't stop filming it because they literally like let go of the cameras, or I guess, and they were just like laughing and cracking up. And then they're like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna use that in the movie.
Use it.
Yeah. Like that's if it's that funny, it's
We're
gonna
gonna
be that
use
funny.
use it for 2 reasons. 1, we can't afford another marionette. 2, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's just one of those like that was an impromptu, not planned thing that was probably
call
more
that-
funny for it. It would have been less funny if they,
serendipity.
When did that movie come out?
God, it was
2005?
yeah.
Ish.
4? 4 or 5, right?
It was post 3 because I graduated 3, and I think it came out after I was out of high school. What? Or did it? I don't know.
04.
So okay, so it's right after high school then. That's a good movie.
Okay, yeah. So that's why when I was in Afghanistan, we would quote that movie all the time. All the time.
It's
Like,
me.
what's
it's
the
me.
signal gonna be? Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's me. What's he saying? It looks like kiss me, smart mouth motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm gonna show him. God, is it Bakalaka
And, like-
Daka, Muhammad Jihad?
Shirkalika.
Oh, it's all the time. All the
Durka,
time
durka,
we would do
durka.
that in Afghanistan. To everyone we would ever meet. It was super rude.
He was in Afghanistan because he was deployed there in the military. There was
Goddamn veteran.
there was combat there, Timber.
Remember him.
Not this. No, I'm alive. So this is next.
We'll do
it's
it. We'll
in-
do it in 6
We'll
months.
do it again some other time. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, believe it or not,
So-
LB's in the army. He was deployed to Afghanistan.
All right, put your helmets on. I'm going to tell you a story.
All right.
There we are, Afghanistan, 2006. We're working with a team of Green Berets, and they have a Humvee with giant speakers mounted on the top. And these speakers are for psychological operations. So what they're supposed to do is like
Blast music.
blast things to the Taliban, like
Barney
just
the
surrender,
dinosaur.
like give up, like don't try to fight,
Demoralizing
or like
propaganda.
we're here to help your country, like stuff like that. So we saw this thing and we're like, dude, that's super cool. Like, what do you guys do? Just drive around Afghanistan blasting Team America World Police? Just to like give them a little like, no, of course you wouldn't because you're professionals. And they're like, oh, fuck yeah. That's all we play. Team America World Police and Ballad of the Green Berets. Those are the 2 songs we play. And yeah, sure enough, when they started driving through the desert, America!
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah. And they have like
Fight to
dirt bikes
save
and there's
motherfucker.
fucking helicopters and shit. I'm like, this is surreal. This is not happening right now.
Oh man,
We would do that shit all over the place. It's hilarious.
I could see it. Yeah.
They didn't blast Ride of the Valkyries because we didn't actually ride in the helicopters. They were just like Apaches that would follow them around.
Yeah. I got to ride in a helicopter to that. I figured it was coming. So this is back with Dirk, Kate, and I did like it was in Vegas 27. Sorry to bring up Vegas, Elvis. My bad, but you brought up
Of course.
helicopters.
I mean, we were due. right?
Uh,
We're an hour into the show. We're gonna
Well,
talk
I mean,
about Vegas.
this is just so we took a helicopter ride up over like the Hoover Dam and then down through the Colorado River and stuff like that. And obviously, I none of us had ever ridden in a helicopter. That was interesting. It was I mean, I've flown in planes, but like helicopters, something it's weird. Like the initial just vertical takeoff feels really weird to just. It's like an elevator, but you're in a. And like it had like the glass bubble. It was like one of those bell things where like, you can see through the floor and everything. It's just like a little off-putting at first, and then after I got used to it pretty quick. But yeah, I mean like then he turns on some music, and obviously like Flight of the Valkyries comes on, Fortunate Son play. I mean all the stereotypical you're in a helicopter, this is what you want to listen to type of experience. Because it's Vegas, and they're like, "Oh, what does everyone want that helicopter experience?"
Did they play that song that the guys in Predator were listening to before they dropped into the jungle?
I don't remember what that song
Long
is.
Tall Sally. I know
is
it.
that what it is?
I have it on my Air Mobile playlist, which I play when we ride helicopters.
I don't remember what that song is.
It's a Little Richard song. Hold on, I'll find it.
Woo, baby. Ah, shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's Little Richard. That's a good movie, Predator.
Predator is a classic.
Yeah, Predator's excellent. Predator 2, not great. All the other Predators after that, not great. Like, it's kind of like Alien. Alien did have the so Alien and Aliens. I think Alien is one of those few movies where I thought the sequel was better than the original.
Yeah, for sure.
That's arguable. Some people say the first one's better. I think they're different. Like Alien 1 is like a horror.
I like them for different reasons.
It's like a House of Horrors type scenario, whereas Aliens is like military versus alien, like high combat action, like suspense thriller type. It's a totally different feel. I liked Aliens better, but I understand why people, because I think the first Alien is a bit more of a horror film as opposed to Aliens, which is more of an action combat film. But
I don't think
Can we go back to helicopters for another story? This is a more recent story. So I was in Latvia, and your helicopter, Drayden, was probably flown by like a licensed professional helicopter pilot.
Yeah, probably. I would hope.
My helicopter was flown by a United States Army pilot who like was in training.
Oh.
So the left seat is the guy in training, and the right seat is what in the U.S. Army they have warrant officers, which are like just dudes who aren't officers, but they're still pilots.
Okay, so he could take over.
There's all kinds of other warrant officers, but to keep it real simple, we'll just keep it at this. So the guy on the right is the guy who actually knows what he's doing. The guy on the left is the one flying, and he's being trained. So it's night. I'm in the helicopter. I have a little headset on. I'm listening to them chatter back and forth. And the helicopter is flying straight, and then it does one of these. It just drops out of the sky, and it shimmies left and right like this. So it goes like this. And the guy who's flying it, his response is, "Whoa!" And I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean, whoa? Don't you know what you're doing?"
You want to hear?
And the guy in the right seat is like, "I told you not to get so fucking close to the helicopter in front of you. That's what happens. It's got a downdraft, and you're gonna fucking crash if you do that again." He's like, "Oh."
And you're in the back seat going like, "Why the fuck am I?"
I'm in the back, like, "Are you? Why is the student driver in charge of this right now? I'm in the back. I don't want to fucking be here anymore. I'll walk. Put this thing on the ground. I'm done." And that's, yeah. My buddy in another helicopter, he's the same thing. He's got a headset on, and they're coming into the airport, and the guy's like, "Oh fuck." It's like, "What do you mean, oh fuck?" Like, "Oh, we're coming in too fast to land." Like,
slow down.
I'm like, yeah. He's like, "Just slow down. Just fucking tilt it back or whatever the fuck it is, like in Battlefield. Just do something." And I was like, whatever. It's just like you watch movies and you think like these guys are professional, top notch. Everybody knows what they're doing.
Past the pilot thing, yeah.
And then you get there and you get in the thing, and the guy's like, and he flicks the switch, and the guy who knows what he's doing like, no, we'll need that one to live. Leave that one on. That one.
You're like, what's that switch do? What the fuck is that switch? I want to live.
And then you like, I'm just imagining like talking to a pilot and like he can't remember the names of things on a plane. Like, you know, the wind, you know how a plane flies, the wind goes over the things on the side of the plane,
like the
not-
flippy flap
the
things.
flippy things on the, you know what I'm talking about. You know, like
The
a
doohickeys.
pilot, just a pilot who
Yeah.
sounds like he doesn't know what he's talking about would make me
Like,
so
imagine-
fucking nervous.
Imagine being in the backseat of a car and this guy's like 4th time driving, and he's with his dad who's riding shotgun, and you're just listening to the two chatter back and forth about like, oh, you're gonna fucking roll it if you do that.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Whoa!
Yeah, it starts swirling.
Whoa!
Whoa! It's like
why?
There's
No.
oh my god. Okay,
checking
if
the
you can
seatbelt.
find it, there's a you guys know who Henry Rollins is, right?
no.
Former frontman for Black Flag. He now
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
kind
he's
of
an
a
actor.
stand-up actor,
Super
stand-up
tap.
comedian, yeah, actor, podcaster. He's a really cool guy, but he's in one of his more famous stand-up talking shows. He tells a story. I think it's called Eric the Pilot or something like that. And he tells this story of trying to get to a show like out in bumfuck nowhere, Oklahoma. And he can't get a cab, so he's like calling his agent. His agent finally finds him like a chartered flight service, but they're like, it's such a funny story. So he's basically telling this terrifying story about Eric the pilot who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing as he flies Henry Rollins to his next gig, and it's fucking hilarious.
Does he have like a pilot with him that knows what he's doing?
No, you'll have to
even,
listen to
even
it.
better.
It almost reminds me of like when I was in driver's ed training. Like when I was in driver's ed, I did it through my school. My high school had a driver's ed thing, so I didn't have to do like a private thing. It was interesting because we had like a bunch of classes first, you know, like written classes, watching videos, like learning the rules of the road, doing written tests and stuff like that, because they want to make sure you knew what you're supposed to do before you get in the car and actually try to do this stuff. And then we did stuff in the parking lot, you know. And then once we get out on the road and we're driving, so I was in a group. It was me, my buddy Steve, and a couple other this other guy, this girl, and like when I was driving, it's like it didn't seem that hard to me. Like the hardest part for me was like being comfortable with the speed you're supposed to go, because like I was fine steering and I knew all the rules and like brake, but it's like, you know, it's like I'd be going, it's like, you got to go faster. I'm like, it feels so fast already. I look, I'm going like 30 miles an hour. Cause it was like, fuck. Like getting on the freeway was like scary for me, but now I just drive so much. I don't really
Sure.
care, but and then, the other guy that I didn't know that well, he would get in there and he was terrifying to be, because all the rest, like when we were doing driving, like whoever, like, there was a driver, there was a driver, an instructor who was in the front seat, and the rest of us were in the back. For some reason, we all had to ride
Yeah, you rotate.
with them, like, you know, just like, you know, risk passengers of whoever's behind the wheel. And this guy's driving, and he was scary, like every time. Like it's like he just didn't learn, like nothing. Every time you were in there, you were just like checking your seatbelt, making sure, like, I'm preparing myself for a wreck type of person. And it was just hard. It's like, yo, I mean, it's not hard. I mean, driving's not hard. But like I would be in the path and driving, and I would go up to a four-way stop, and I'd stop, and there'd be like one person already stopped and another person already stopped on the left. So it's like, wait for those two to go, and then I go, and then I go, and like he asked for the right. He's like, how are you so good at these four-way stops? How are you supposed to know? I was like,
It's like we've had multiple people encounter this scenario before, and we've worked out a system of how to handle it.
it's not hard. When you come up to it, you look who's already stopped. They go before you, and then when all of them have gone, then you go. I don't know why is this so difficult?
And if you land at the same time, there is an order.
And
to
the
it.
thing is, like, four-way stops for some reason is such a hard concept for a lot of people, and it's like, if that's tough, I worry. If that's a tough, like, thing for them to figure out, it's like, I don't know, man.
Wait until they see a roundabout. Oh my god.
Oh,
I
forgot.
love
God.
roundabouts.
Although here's the thing, roundabouts should be easier. You don't have to worry about all
Wait.
the different directions. You just look like
Rain is bringing up a huge point here, and I want to talk about it real quick. Have you guys experienced the Captain Wavy Pants? Have you ever met
Yeah.
that guy on the
Yeah.
fucking
it's like,
road?
no, you
I
have the right of way.
hate
Take
that
your
fucking guy.
Take
That's
your
right.
turn. You're fucking
Just follow the
everyone
fucking
up.
rules, man. If
Yeah,
you
it's like
follow
you're-
the rules, everyone will
everyone
be
is
fine. If
waiting
you
on-
start making shit up, that's
Yeah.
when accidents happen.
Yeah, it's like everyone's
Fucking-
waiting on you. You trying to be nice. You're not being nice. You're messing up everyone's flow, and now everyone doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And now it makes it dangerous.
You know,
Don't
we
do
live
that.
in a society.
Yeah, but roundabouts should be easier because it's like you just look. Is there anyone already? You just have to yield to people that are already in the roundabout, and that's it. So it's like
That's
you just
right.
look left. Who's coming? Is anyone coming? No, then get in there. If yes, wait for them. That's it. You don't have to worry about the people to the right or across from you. You don't have to worry about any of that. Roundabouts should be easier.
I
And
watched
some
a
people
dash
just can't
cam
figure-
like a week ago of somebody in Europe, and they sat there for what had to have been like 2 to 3 minutes. And the people, they're laughing in the vehicle with the dash cam. They're like, "What is this? Probably foreigner doing whatever."
Yeah. Now,
And finally, they like honk at him a little bit. So then they start, easing forward and stuff. And they definitely want to go left this whole time in a friggin', right facing roundabout. And finally, they do it, and cars are like, kind of pulling out of the way and stuff. And then they get off on somebody. Like, it's so hard to
now
watch.
the one thing I will say is I've never encountered any roundabouts that big. But like, I guess I don't know if the U.S. really has them, but I know Europe and stuff like Rome, and because I remember my dad mentioned them, they have these roundabouts that are like 8 or 9 fucking lanes. They're like massive, huge fucking. It's like those. I would be like, okay, this is a bit confusing and a little crazy. But your general 1 or even 2 lane roundabouts, like those are so simple. Like, holy shit.
I have a Ukrainian roundabout story.
Okay.
So we used to send the contracts lady. She would go out and buy things for the camp. So we'd send her out with like a duffel bag full of money, and she goes with an escort, and she goes around and buys things for the camp. So one of the guys went with her, and they came back and they were like, "Never send me with this woman again because she's gonna get us fucking killed." She would get to these roundabouts, and they're like 8-lane roundabouts, and she would just look at the spot where she wanted to get out of the roundabout, and then just drive straight through
Oh,
to the spot where she wanted to get out. It was fucking madness.
wow.
She got clipped one day, and the cops were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Obviously in Ukrainian. She doesn't understand Ukrainian. And the truck driver was like, "What are you?" They had to call like the MPs to come out and extract her from the shenanigans. I don't know why you would ever think like none of these lines apply to me. I'm just gonna like, I want the third, so I'm just drive. No.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Me
Shock.
me driving as much as I do, I've seen so much dumb shit on the road nowadays.
What about a flashing yellow light? What's that?
you treat it as a yield. So basically if you have generally flashing yellow means if you're going, you yield to whatever traffic has the right of way, which means you kind of have to assume. So generally a flashing yellow straight on, you're going to have the right of way because you're going straight, right? Which means, but generally you're not going to see a flashing yellow on a straight. You usually see them on like the left turn, right? Which means that you can go as long as the cross traffic coming the other way is clear. Like they have the right of way over you. So, and you turn left after when you have a clear spot to go. That also being said is what people don't always know. It's like when it's flashing out, you can inch out into the intersection and basically because at least one person is guaranteed to get a spot to go. Because when the oncoming traffic stops because maybe the light's turning red, now you can go because you're going to be able to go before the cross traffic gets a green light. And that way, at least one person every cycle is going to get to go. Hopefully lights are set up to allow more than that if it's a busier thing, but
Scenario.
yeah.
The town I used to live in had a traffic light in it that was notorious for losing power. And when it lost power, it would switch to
The
flashing yellow on Main Street, and then
Flashing red.
the side street was flashing red.
Yeah. Flashing red, you treat it like a stop sign.
Right. Every time this happened, Facebook would explode with people losing their shit about this fucking intersection. Because people would be like, well, the nice thing to do would be to treat it like a 4-way stop. So they would pull up to the flashing yellow, come to a complete stop, look left, look right, proceed through the fucking intersection. Meanwhile, the people behind them are like, this is a flashing yellow. We're allowed to go through this because the other way has a flashing red. And they almost every time this happens, somebody gets in a fucking accident in this fucking intersection. So that's why I wanted to bring up flashing yellow.
So like if you have a flashing
Don't-
yellow and the other side has a flashing red, you go. You have the right of way.
That's right.
But it's basically usually flashing yellow is like, hey, pay attention. So if you have a flashing yellow on a straightaway, that usually means this stoplight's out of power. It's on an emergency or something fucked up on it. And so now it's like, you have the right of way and you should go, but pay attention in case people are being stupid. It's like a, hey, caution. The flashing red is treated like a stop sign. You have to come up, you have to stop, and then when you have the right of way, then you can go. But it's generally you could see if the cross traffic has a flashing yellow, which means that they will not stop. They're not supposed to stop for you at all. You don't get to go in front of them. You go when there's a clear space. And a flashing yellow is go, but you know. Also, like I said, same with left turns. Like oncoming traffic, you have to yield. If you're going to be turning across oncoming traffic, you have to yield to that. I don't know. It's not hard. But like I said, I drive like 60,000 miles a year for work alone on average, and I see so much dumb shit. It's like, I'm not even kidding. There's probably about 15 to 20% of the population that just really needs to go back to driver's ed for real.
I was gonna say, unpopular opinion, I think you should have to get your license like renewed every few years, where you have to like go through all the rigmarole to make sure you realize all the fucking like normal traffic norms.
Road tests and everything.
Well, Rayo, I'm saying like, so that
Probably not a bad idea.
I'm thinking I said 25% because those are the people that need to go to driver's ed because they don't know what the rules are. They're fucking up because they actually don't know what they're supposed to be doing. But then you have probably another 25% of people that they know what the rules are. They don't give a fuck, and they're like, "Hey, fuck you, I'm going." They just like alpha male, fucking bullshit, and they're just like they don't give a fuck. They're gonna swerve around you. They're gonna cut you off. They just because they don't got time to put up with other people, type of shit. And it's like you probably just shouldn't have a license. Period. You shouldn't even be on the road. But
we have a show up here. Well, we used to have a show called Canada's Worst Driver. Do you guys have a show like that?
Mm-mm.
We had it on Discovery Channel Canada. It was Canada's Worst Driver. So you would nominate like a relative or a friend or someone you knew as Canada's Worst Driver. And the show would start with like, let's say 21 candidates. They're all terrible drivers. And so every week they would teach them a new skill and then test them on that skill. And if they pass the test, then at the end of the show, they would vote for who the worst driver was, and those people would stay, and they would vote for who the best people were, and those people would get their license back and get to go home. If you stayed till the end, you just got your license cut up, and then you had to go. Yeah, it was fucking funny. But some of these people would be like you don't understand, like how did you get your license in the first place in order for you to get on to Canada's Worst Driver? How have you not killed entire families or villages even with the fucking shenanigans you've been pulling on the road? I don't understand.
Yeah. So you're saying Akron, you have to like renew here? I don't know. I guess it's different state to state here. We only have to renew our licenses every 8 years. And all that means is you just have to go into the DMV and pay for a license renewal, get your picture retaken, and make sure all your information on the thing is correct. And then they'll send you a new license. You don't have to test anything. Like, as long as you keep doing it on cue and you haven't gotten, like, pulled over and arrested for something, like, egregious, like, literally you could go from, like, 16 to fucking 68 and never have to do any kind of driving test whatsoever. You just gotta pay.
Rayo in chat says the standards to pass the tests are just so low.
It's probably
so. Let me give you an example of one of these people that showed up on Canada's Worst Driver. This lady couldn't turn left.
She's not an ambi turner.
She's not an ambi turner.
She's not an ambi turner. Could only go right. Right turns were all she did. So imagine you're on a driver's test, and the guy's like, "Okay, just pull a left here," and you're like, "Nope, we're gonna do 3 rights." and the guy's like, "Oh, all right." Pass. Really? Come on, man.
She's like, well, I still got us there. And he's like, oh, I don't have time for this.
There are certain roads I will do that with. Well, so there's certain...
But there's a difference between, like, you won't turn left.
Versus,
it's
like,
easier,
traffic
it's
is so
easier
bad
for me to just turn right, and then...
Or like, my thing is, like, turn right, and then take a left, and then flip around and take a right back on the street. Because there are certain streets, like, in certain...
There's navigating traffic flow, and then there's...
Right.
I am deathly afraid of turning left, so I'm not going to do it.
Because, like, there's a street, like, it's only on certain things. Like, in Missoula specifically, there's a street called now I can't remember the street, but it's a north-south corridor street that is notorious. It's a 2-lane each way, but it's so busy nonstop. If the only way I will turn left onto that street is if I'm at a stoplight. If I'm not at a stoplight, it's like it is way faster to just turn right and then get into the turn lane, turn left, and then flip around and come right. Because that will take, like, that will add 3 to 4 minutes to my trip. But if I try and sit here and turn left, I could be waiting here for 15 to 20 minutes before I get a chance to actually turn left onto this street. Reserve, that's what it is. Reserve Street in Missoula is one of the worst fucking things to turn left onto without a stoplight. It's not worth it. But yeah, I mean, outside of those specific instances, yeah, it's like left's important.
Yeah, it's one of the 2 directions you can turn.
Imagine if she got NASCAR.
Only left.
It's like race start. She's like
screwed.
into the wall.
Just riding like bowling with the bumpers. She just rides her sparks. Oh.
Took all the metal off the left-hand side and we put it on the right-hand side of the car so you could just do all 500 laps. There should be something left by the time you're done.
Riveted a bunch of cutting board on there so you could just glide around.
The other thing that I noticed that a lot of people do, like
Rub the wax
Rain
candle
was
on
mentioning
there,
rearview mirrors. That's one thing I know is like people. Like, when I look at people's things now, every time I get in a vehicle that someone else has the mirror set, it's gonna look weird, fucked up on the mirrors because I'm like 6.5 feet tall, and I have to change everything. I have to. And someone's like, "Oh, you can drive my car." It's like you're gonna have to reset all of your shit when you get back in this vehicle because I'm gonna put the seat all the way down, all the way back, lean it about halfway back, turn the mirror up like to where you'll never be able to see out of it, and then I'm gonna change your side mirrors. Like you're gonna have to reset everything. But
he said, and I'm gonna queue up some NWA. So
but there's a lot of people.
You're gonna have to put all your presets back.
To where like half of the vision on your rearview mirror is looking at the side of your own vehicle. It's like that doesn't help. Like I tilt my mirrors out to where like I see like a smidgen of like the side of my vehicle because that gives me the most vision to the side and behind me because I don't need to see the side of my own car. That doesn't help me at all.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean that's how you're supposed to do it. You're only supposed to be able to see a
there's a lot
sliver.
of people that will set them to where it's like they see like from the mid of their car all the way to the back,
right.
and like that's half of the mirror, and then the other half is just like right directly behind them, which means they have even less vision off to their blind spot. Now, I mean, even with the mirror out of ways, you still have to look back, but I mean, like it does give you more vision to the side if you like, directly into the other lane if you have it set out as far away as you can away from your car. So I always do that.
It's shocking that, and it really isn't shocking, but it's sad to me that more people don't know that you can tweak your mirrors to like what works best for you, which is most visibility.
Yeah. Also, like in the work van, I have convex mirrors. Those are nice.
Oh yeah,
I like those.
I used to have a car with the memory buttons.
Yeah.
Like you'd get in, set your seat, mirrors and everything, hit the memory button for number 1, and then your wife would get in, set their shit up, memory button number 2.
I was thinking about that when he said it. I was like, if you got a fancy car, you don't have these problems.
Get shorter. I can't get shorter. I wish.
Yeah, it gets a couple inches taken out of your shins.
Yeah. That's
I saw it.
Be like, oh, it must be nice to be so tall. It's like, it's not. I wish I could. I mean, I don't want to be 5'6", but I don't want to be 6'6". I would like to be just a solid 6 foot tall, flat. It would be so much more convenient. Being mega tall is a pain in the ass a lot of times.
Got to shop at special stores.
Rain's right about the headlight thing.
I can't shop for clothes in stores. I have to shop for all
headlights.
I could
Except
buy,
when they're blinding you.
Yeah, I could buy.
I find them less intense than standard headlights.
So a lot of people, first off, the difference in the mirrors and the headlights, a lot of people do not know how to adjust headlights. That's not quite as just either the little thing on your side panel or moving, your mirrors with your hands. Headlight aiming is something you got to get under the hood and you got to work with.
I've never.
The problem too is a lot of people.
Ones, though, so I don't think my lights are too.
Well, she was just saying she hates people who can't figure out how to do their fucking headlights. But like the problem too is that a lot of people are adding all these fucking light bars or like off-roady lights. But when they install them, they're just installing them as a guy. They're not fucking aiming them correctly because there is, something you're supposed to do.
Personally attacking me?
Yeah, that's
attack
right.
on me.
I don't like the LED lights. They're so
You and Redline.
fucking bright. Even
Did Redline get his light
on the
bars?
low beams, they are blindingly bright. I fucking hate LED headlights. Like
LED
I get it.
I don't care.
I get it. They
Get a
last
fucking
longer. They're
headlights are
efficient. They
awesome.
light up everything for
I-
yourself.
I
But like
love
they
LED
blind
headlights.
everyone you're pulling up on. They blind the shit out of, and it's gonna like it's a
I
higher risk that they're gonna hit you because they can't see anything coming at
I
you.
legitimately find them less blinding than normal headlights.
Really?
Like
Oh.
if I'm coming up on a car with LED headlights and
They
a
blind the
car
fuck out of
next to
me.
it has the regular headlights, if I have to stare at a pair of headlights, I would rather stare at the LED lights. I find them less blinding.
They're so bright and blind.
Manic, don't stare at any of the lights.
Like,
You're not
I
supposed
mean,
to stare at
I
'em.
know I shouldn't
Yeah.
be staring at any light.
I
but
look at the right when
You,
it's
you
nighttime.
use your
just to-
peripherals.
just to illustrate the point. Like
Yeah.
I prefer the LED headlights.
I don't. They're
If they're
so
aimed
bright.
correctly, it's
They're-
fine.
Like they're so
Oh.
bright that like it's. I literally have to just look at the right of the lane and just be like it's so blind and like the things like and that's their low beams. I can't even imagine their high beams. Like holy fuck.
I wonder how long until we get like adaptive windshields or something where like, almost like the indoor-outdoor glasses or something where it would like,
I-
detect angle of what headlights are coming at you and
So-
like shade out that area a little bit.
I'm pretty sure I thought of this when I was 7. When I
Well,
learned
damn.
when I learned of auto tinting sunglasses, I'm like, man, they should put this on the car. Like, but it would be a safety thing. It would have to. There's got to be a safety reason for them to not do it, because I'm sure they could.
Yeah, you're not supposed to tint your windshield.
I almost
Yeah,
never
so
use brights.
it's part of it.
There's
only-
certain levels of tinting.
The only time I'll
You
use
wanna get-
brights.
You want to get a Chevy Silverado with a 36-inch lift kit with the brightest LED lights you can get and a big old fucking light bar on the front.
Big old
Just
Casey
drive
lights
down
on the
highway.
top.
Yeah, fuck everyone.
And,
Fuck 'em
and
all.
like limo tint. That way,
Yeah.
You could just be like grinning and be like, hey,
with the wide
people
fucking
can't see you.
with the wide lift kit with the wide tires
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
oh yeah, you gotta put some wheel spacers in there for sure.
Absolutely. You know what used to be popular?
As long
when
as
I
you don't
was-
Carolina
the
squat them.
Dodge fucking
that's
Ram
dumb, yeah.
truck.
It's ridiculous.
I drive a lifted Dodge.
Lifter
Ram.
Dodge Ram truck.
Best video. I'm gonna link that.
Used to be popular was the covers on your lights that were tinted. So a buddy of mine
I
had these
remember those,
tinted
yeah.
light covers on his truck. And you couldn't tell if he was braking, turning, or what the fuck he was doing. I don't know why he had them. I don't know why they were legal. I
Wow.
don't know how he got away with it, but it was fucking dumb as fuck.
I find a lot of those things are not, well, I mean, obviously it's depending on where you are, but in some areas, some of those things are just widely overlooked. And it pisses me off.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, bright I rarely ever use brights. They're kind of unnecessary. The only time I ever use brights is if I'm, coming back from a
If you're in
long
the sticks and you want to look out for deer.
Yeah, like long
If
ass
you're-
trip, and
yeah,
I'm
if
way
you're
out in the
driving
middle of
through the
nowhere. Like,
mountains.
especially they're really good at catching deer because in Montana, coming back on like Highway 2 or something where there's like, when it's like 7 or 8 at night, you see like one car every like 5 miles maybe. So, but there's deer like fucking crazy out there, so you want to make sure you can see them coming up. So, something like that, I will have my brights on. But the second you see someone coming up, it's like flip them off, like not flip them off. I mean like flip the brights off.
Yeah, flip them off.
Like leave your brights on. Like fuck you.
I'm not changing my lights, asshole.
I thought this was America.
Why don't you worry about your lights and let me worry about my lights?
I threw the lifted Dodge Ram truck link in chat. It's great. You guys should watch it.
Yeah, it's
How long is this?
It's like less than a minute, I think.
57 seconds.
Yeah, so less than a minute. There's a sports car that drives around my neighborhood. I don't know if they've got some kind of special paint on this thing, but it is blacker than black. It is like void vacuum of space black car.
Like Vanta?
Yeah, like it doesn't reflect. It doesn't even reflect anything. It's like
So
it's
they
so
took
cool.
matte black and went like
But
even further.
They've tinted the headlights like lime green, so it looks like a dragon driving around on the street. It's so fucking cool.
I'm surprised when I see states that allow colored lights. Texas didn't really allow much in the way of colored lights. North Carolina doesn't give a fuck, and I see all sorts of crazy shit.
Like what?
Like colored headlights, lights up in your rims, lights up under your car, like all sorts of just
Yeah.
lights all over cars.
Yeah,
North
there's all
Carolina
kinds
is
of
very
mods.
generous with people putting like pink, green, blue, like fucking colors in their headlights and stuff, and Texas was very anti that. Like, you couldn't have like crazy colors in your
Why? Did they
headlights and
give
stuff.
do you know if they had a reason?
I don't know that they did. I know some colors you can't in most places because of emergency light colors, but
Oh,
Red and
I think-
blue. You can't do
yeah,
red and
yeah,
blue.
red and
I think
blue.
Texas was just like more like wholesale about it all. And I mean that may have changed. I've been away for like 5-6 years. But
Question:
Yeah.
You volunteer firefighters where you are have flashing green light?
I
don't think so.
No, we got the red, white still.
The red,
Yeah.
red, white, red and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, actual fire trucks have the red and white lights, right?
Yeah.
But volunteer firefighters typically, obviously, they're not at the fire station all day, right?
Well, we actually have
So- In their civilian cars, whenever a call goes out and the volunteer firefighters need to go somewhere, some of them will put a flashing green light in their windshield. And
I've never
they'll-
seen that.
I've never
they'll
seen that.
So
they'll
the
drive a
volu-
little bit faster than other people to get to.
But it'll be
I
understood
mean,
because
maybe
what-
I've never
Yeah.
seen that. So like all the volunteer firefighters that we have. So I mean, I think Rathdrum has volunteer firefighters as well, and their thing, they just use actual like government paid for it's paid for by the fire department in Idaho for the fire vehicles. It's just volunteers that use them, so they actually get like the full on red and white flashing
I think-
emergency vehicle
I think
lights.
that's how it is here too. My
Now their
my
personal
brother-in-law
vehicles,
is
I
a
don't know if they have a
volunteer
thing they can put in
firefighter.
their own thing, but
if nothing else, they probably do have an abundance of flashy lights on it just because like anybody can put those on. Like you could be a construction vehicle, whatever, and have
Yeah.
crazy
yeah,
flashing
construction is
bright
yellow. I
LED.
see those. Construction or like
And white.
city government,
See it with
Department of
white and yellow.
Transportation, stuff like that. That's all yellow and white, but
That lifted Dodge Ram truck video. When he got to the I make $31,000 a year, I was like, this is
it's
Oh.
it's spot on. Chef's kiss.
I have seen dozens of those trucks. Dozens.
Yeah, they're all over.
They're
the place
especially
here.
prevalent on military bases for some reason.
Statistically, the Ram 1500 is the
Yep.
vehicle with the most, what is it, DUIs, I think?
That sounds accurate.
it's like
It's like
I believe that stat.
I don't know. About
Yeah, I was going to
other-
say, I read that a few years ago.
I don't know about other places, but definitely up here when I was in high school, there was the whole like cowboy up fad. I don't know if that was elsewhere, but it was a thing when I was in high school. All the fucking redneck kids in the high school, they would have they'd put like there's a cowboy up stickers, and there was this fad where they would always park their truck with the front couple wheels up on the curb, like
Right.
when they park, or like if there was like the cinder blocks at the front of the parking spot, they would like park their wheels up on top of it. They couldn't just park normally. It's like cowboy up, and anytime it's cowboy, they would always
That's
park
so
that
silly.
way. It's like
So there's
All hat, no cattle.
you can watch trends on military bases, and it's kind of funny. So like it used to be back in the day, Spartan everything, 300 everything, Spartan helmets, stickers everywhere, like Molon Labe stickers all over the place. Like, it's fucking ridiculous because the 300 movie came out,
Sure.
and then it switched to Punisher skulls. Everybody had Punisher skulls on everything, and then it switched to it was
Vigilante
Cowboy Up,
justice. Makes total
that
sense.
kind of fucking thing, and that was going on everywhere. And then it switched to now it's Vikings. Everybody's a
Interesting.
Viking. Viking ships, Viking helmets, Viking fucking swords, runic symbols on stuff. You're like, oh,
Hopefully not a lot of white supremacy undertones.
yeah. Well,
that's here.
yes and no, but, but
That's all over the place. You'd be surprised. They
Okay, hold on.
There's fucking stuff about like Confederate flags up in Canada and
Okay,
other countries and
I have
shit.
a
It's
que- I have a question.
ridiculous.
I have a question to ask
Okay,
because
okay.
I care about your guys' opinion, and I don't want you judging me. So next year, my daughter and I are making a plan to go to FanFest. She really wants to go to Iceland, so I told her if she could pay for her plane ticket, she could stay in my room. So, but we want to get tattoos while we are there,
Sure.
and we were thinking of getting some kind of rune, some
Yeah, that'd be
kind
cool.
of Scandinavian rune that's like significant to that trip, or
Right.
you know, would that be cringe?
No, that's cool. I will agree with what Rain saying. Like schedule ahead of time. Tat shops are.
Oh,
Now I
yeah.
don't know. Maybe
Good
in
ones-
Iceland it's a
good
little
ones
less
book up.
often,
That's
but the
true,
thing is like
yeah.
if there's a big event going on, I bet there's a
Yeah.
higher volume. Always schedule because I mean even locally here, I mean there's nowhere I know of even around here where it's not even that high of a population
it's
area.
rare
Like,
that you
there's
can,
nowhere
like,
I know of where you
just
can just walk
do
in
a
and get a
walk-in.
tattoo same
Yeah.
day. Like you have to.
Well, and you want to do a little research too, and that
Well,
way you
there's
can
that,
chat
but
and
like
stuff.
we're so we were just like thumbing through runes.
I think
and
that would be
symbols and shit.
topical and significant. Like, I don't see
She,
anything
she
wrong with
wants
that.
to get a tattoo for like every place she visits. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
like
I mean, as long as it means something to you, that's cool.
The 2 times I've ever had any tattoo work done, both of them, like, I would schedule it, and they're like, oh, well, we're booked out for 2.5 months. I'm like, oh, okay, give me whatever the earliest thing you got is. So yeah, I would say if you're planning on doing it like in a specific window when you're in Iceland, I would recommend the second you find out when the FanFest dates are, start looking at tattoo shops up in Reykjavik and stuff and find out,
right,
see if you can like schedule something.
we're just thinking about it.
Yeah, no, it's a
I
valid
would
question.
talk to some CCP devs and see which
Yeah,
shops
100%.
they recommend as well.
Oh, that's cool. Get your name.
They definitely have some hookup.
Translated to Icelandic and
Well,
get.
there was
Oh, that's
I
cool.
can't remember if it was 2017 or 2018. They had like a little tattoo, like a mini tattoo place set up in the Harpa. So if you wanted to get like
Was it like henna or like actual tattoos?
no, like an actual tattoo. So if you wanted to get like the Galente logo tattooed on you, you could do that.
Oh, or like the Garistas. I was supposed to get a
Yeah,
Garistas.
yeah.
tattoo.
Carissa's is one of the
lot
more
people-
popular ones.
I was
lot of
supposed to get
people
a
got the
Garistas
Garistas
tattoo
one.
with November in Seattle last year, but we didn't end up doing
That's
it.
right.
We got too drunk and didn't get it done.
You guys ended
My
up
best-
making out in a hot tub.
Yeah, we got
That's right.
drunk at night, didn't do it, and then we were hungover the next day, just watched some football, and then I went back home.
Walk of shame. My best friend has the Red Alliance star on his forearm.
Yeah, some people have.
And he was never in Red Alliance.
logo tattoos.
That's kind
He
of
just
weird.
liked the star. It was a cool logo. I'll give him that.
That's like getting the NC dot cowboy skull on you and never
Yeah,
doing
There you-
That is a good
That's a-
logo.
it's such a good
It
logo. The
is.
downside with it is it does seem like a Hell's Angel / like
Yeah.
to the
It's very
untrained
Cowboys
eye.
from
it
Hell
looks
kind of
like
a
it
thing.
belongs on a.
Yeah,
on a biker
yeah, that's
jacket.
actually probably you could say
Little
it's
bit
like
white trash.
Yeah, it's people do think it's like maybe a Hell's Angel or a Pantera thing or something.
Sons of
I do
Anarchy.
remember like the NC Dot crew had their flag with the logo on it in the heart bar, and they were initially asked to leave because they thought it was a white supremacist group meeting up at the heart bar.
Yeah.
And
Is
they're
that
like,
the
"No, no,
Imperium flag too?
Oh yeah. Oh no, actually I think
God.
that was the
They getting
Imperium
shit for
flag.
theirs too, right?
Although I think
The amount of people who take eagles and birds
yeah,
and
no,
whatever.
You're right. The Imperium flag was the one they thought was white supremacist. Although, so the NC Dot flag, they did get asked about that, but I think theirs is more like they thought it was some Hell's Angels thing or something like that. So I think they thought that was like some kind of like a biker thing, but yeah, the Imperium Eagle, because I mean,
I cannot imagine a group of people hanging out like Eve players being mistaken for a biker gang. I just can't see it. That's like the four of us being mistaken for
I
a,
don't know,
a
man.
I could
crack
see it for,
military
like-
commando unit right now.
one out of 4 is. So.
Actually, I think we could actually.
Crack.
I think there's enough Eve players who are older and bearded.
You put us in some tactical gear, and I think we could pull it
Put
off.
some leather jackets on them.
Yeah.
Some.
But they weren't wearing that. They were
bandanas.
just wearing fucking nerd gear.
Yeah,
That's
but
where
I
I'm
mean,
thinking, like the white
I'm
supremacy
imagining,
thing.
I
like,
think there's plenty
cargo
of Eve
shorts
players who could pass
and a
for
t-shirt.
like hardcore bikers.
Yeah.
See a bunch of neck beards, possibly some, heavy and in,
Yeah.
flying
Now the-
eagle flags, and people would be like, "Oh God, this is."
Well, because here's the thing. So the Imperium
Questionable.
Eagle, it's more meant to represent the Roman eagle, right? The Imperium, that's what. But the thing is, like,
thought it was from 40K.
but there's the Nazis used that eagle as well, which was very similar looking, and so that's what they saw. That's what they thought of. They thought of like the Nazi eagle symbol as opposed to
1,000 empires
instead of
have
ancient
used
Rome.
a bird.
Ancient Rome
in
eagle
their logo.
is So I get
It's a
the
bird.
misinterpretation. And the thing is, like, Hitler went with
Everybody
that eagle
loves
because
them when it
they're
comes
like-
to flag.
Yeah, they went with the Hitler took that eagle because he's like, oh, this is a symbol of power, like Roman power in the past, and all this, and so he took it, and now it's been tarnished
Just like he fucked over the Indians with their
I
swastika.
mean, not saying that the Romans were great either. Romans were pretty fucking terrible people too. They were pretty oppressive, but
Yeah.
they were.
Put a really
Rebranding-
shitty bird up there. They should have put like a chicken on it.
Yeah, fucking
Bitch pigeon.
robot chicken.
Yeah, a fucking Rain City bitch pigeon.
Rain City bitch pigeon. Dude, can we make that a flag?
Of course.
Should make that
And
a
you
flag.
should.
Like we should get a Seattle
want
meetup going and
hats
just like
of
have
it.
that be like the meetup logo.
Do y'all
We need
remember
to
how
start-
Antiquarian had all those like minor league baseball hats that had like cool fucking logos that nobody had ever seen? Like, you need to make hats of that and then just sell them.
Of the Rain City bitch pigeon?
Yeah, I'm quite sure it would at least sell decently, like up in the Pacific Northwest. But then also just meme wise on the internet.
I'm sure somebody owns that image.
Yeah,
Well, they submitted it to the Seattle thing, so I wonder if the Seattle thing has it now.
I bet you they do. I bet you the Kraken technically own.
Possibly. I still have a
That
couple.
fucking
I actually gave a bunch of those out when I was in Vegas last, but I'm down to like maybe 5 or 6 stickers, but I still got.
You're supposed to be saving some for me.
I still
Yeah,
got. I
Rain
still got a
City
couple.
bitch
Although it's mirrored, it's fucking mirrored. But
No, we see it.
oh, okay. Well, on my
Mirrored
stream,
on the stream.
Oh, we're on
on
Discord.
the
yes.
stream, it's but it's Rain City bitch pigeons. It's a pissed off pigeon in a slicker.
It's so good.
That's excellent. I'm
20
sad.
years ago, we probably would have pulled it off.
Yeah, I'm sad they actually call themselves. I mean, the Kraken, okay, it's cool and stuff, but like the logo, have you seen the Kraken logo? It looks like that S thing that kids draw in high school. You put the,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
put the 3 lines at
love
the
it.
top and the 3 lines at the bottom. You do like the little triangle S shape. It's that, just a
Yeah.
little fluent.
It's crazy that we all know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, that was such a
The high
cultural
school
phenomenon.
S, the high school S symbol,
the
like
S.
Even younger
You
than
just
high school.
say the S.
the S, yeah, like that's
Everybody
their
knows the
logo,
S.
and then they just put a little bit of flair on some of the edges and filled it with blue.
I'm curious how international that was. Like, obviously in the Americas, we know it, but like, I'm curious if that was a thing for kids just all over the fucking
I
planet.
remember seeing there's some YouTube video like trying to like track down the genesis of the S, like where it started.
Some
It's
graffiti
so
somewhere or something.
widespread. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out like where because I know I drew those when I was in high school. And I'm like, where did I learn
drew
it from? And
them.
I'm trying to think like, did anyone show that to me, or did I just figure it out?
I had a
But-
friend. I had a friend who was he got me into sketching and drawing. He was really good at it, and so he was like we became friends. And yeah, he showed it to me, and he was like, draw these 3 lines, and then connect them all together. I'm like, oh, I thought that was the coolest fucking
Yeah,
thing.
It's such a
And
cool
for the longest
symbol.
time, yeah,
Just
it's like
drawing
it's
it
so-
on all your notebook.
and it's so simple. And yeah, everybody had it doodled in their notebooks.
Yeah,
It
okay.
looked gang related to me.
Yeah,
Did it
Tam-
come from
Tamara
like
said they had it.
album art
Kind of a
or something?
graffiti.
They had it in New Zealand, not in Australia, so I think it's worldwide. I mean, if it's in the U.S. and Australia, it's everywhere, right? Has to be.
Sure, I
You
think
would
that's how it
assume it
works.
would be between, if it's in one place and another place, the places in between those
Yeah.
places. it would
Although, I
be.
mean, like, you have to go east to make it worth it, because if you go west, it's just a bunch of ocean. That means Hawaii had it, and some Pacific Islands, maybe Japan.
That's a good point. Micronesia.
Aussie land. Did I say Aussie land? I thought I said Australia.
They'll take it.
What are they going to do?
Throw a
What are they
crocodile
gonna
at me.
do?
Throw a crocodile at me. Throw a red back at me.
Drop bear. Oh, he changed his color. What
Oh, I
the
don't
hell?
want to drop bears.
There was. It was Fouetted, I think, was the alliance that had the chicken. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Free range space chickens? What, free range chicken?
Yeah, drop bears are serious shit.
Yeah, it was free range chickens, if I recall, was the alliance he's thinking. And I think
They're-
Fouetted was like the main alliance or main corp.
Their alliance symbol is very much different than that right now. It's like a muscular chicken holding an Amar flag. A rifle with a bayonet. Oh,
Come and take it.
that's a very detailed alliance logo.
Speaking of logos, apparently there's a bug where your friggin' logo doesn't show up on your structure after like 20 minutes. That I just recently stumbled across.
I found it.
I know that's a
I
first
whip-
world problem, but
There's an alliance called I Whip My Slaves Back and Forth.
Didn't they
I
have
assume
to
they were
change
on
their
a-
name?
don't think
I
so.
think maybe, but maybe it's an Amar faction warfare kind of group.
Believe
has
it was.
a cartoon chicken with like a space helmet on it with a very narrow neck.
Oh, yeah.
and 2 different
That's
shaped eyes.
I love the creativity that has come together through Alliance logos over the years.
Yeah, Fwedit was in I Whip My Slaves Back and Forth, and now they're in Free Range Chickens.
Ah,
I always liked Test's propaganda. All their propaganda videos were like
middleman from Dino.
S tier.
Do you guys
S-tier
remember?
propaganda.
God, what was the name? It started with a C. It wasn't Catlos, but it was
Camel
somebody
Empire?
else. No, it was the guy who was doing the like digital painting propaganda, maybe in World War B1, and it was a lot of like real cute dinos, and like they had brave representatives, like maybe a little parrot or something. I can't remember who all the different things were, but Cymek, thank you.
Cymek, yeah. It was a little Circle
Got
of
him.
2 guy, right?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, it was right around the time Circle of 2 died. Cause that was one of the saddest ones where it looked like they were in like a museum or something, and there was a big thing of like the Circle of 2 like being Gigex or whatever, and the guy's like got his hand on the wall and like holding his head down and like looking like he's crying. Oh, brutal. Hit me right in the feels. That guy put out some really phenomenal work for like
gonna link
a
you
year and then dipped out. And
One of my
everybody was like,
favorite Test Alliance videos.
Link it.
Mostly just for the music.
Yeah. Yes.
I was hoping for hi, my name's Duh-Duh.
The Dreaded Ministry
That is
of
a good one.
Truth.
Are y'all gonna put this on the stream?
I can, yeah.
Otherwise, we're dipping out for 3 minutes.
I don't know if I saw this one.
Hey, you know what this calls
I like this a lot.
The whole grab of Nebula.
Oh, look at this guy.
Oh, darn.
I'm sure this part of the bottom.
No, I mean, that's this guy
Oh, right.
produced the song and like signed by everybody.
He's a nobody.
I was like,
Papa celebrate. We're all hugged.
They're going. I'm going.
it's turning more
Fucking-
brevity and less me.
Fucking bronies, dude. It wouldn't be test if they didn't punish you along the
I
way.
can't. That's true. I mean, I should have seen the audience.
What did that channel used to be that like everybody knew of? Apparently, it was like some channel of their comms. It was like the Bacon and something channel, and it was just known to be like terrible.
Bacon Bar.
Yeah,
Bacon Bar.
like if you were there, like you signed up for it, like you had nothing you could complain about. You should have been there. Dude, we had some bronies a few years back in my life on the NSFW channel. Like, people just love to ruin things.
I got nothing against bronies. I'm just not into it.
We're all love.
It's like, I love you. If someone else is a brony, hey, you know what? You do you, that's fine.
We're all love.
I'm still not sure how I feel about how tolerant I ever want to be as a person. Obviously, you want to be tolerant in some ways. I don't know how tolerant I want to be.
I'm
still deciding my line in the
It's
sand.
not that I'm like, oh, bro. It's like I just don't care.
Then I said, oatmeal, are you crazy?
If you're not putting out like brony porn, then like I probably don't care either.
Well, right. I mean,
But then I don't know. It takes all sorts. Like I said, I'm mildly tolerant. I just haven't figured out where I want to draw my
like I said,
lines.
like, my thing is like I just don't care. If someone's people under all kinds of shit, whatever. And I'm not saying like a sexual thing. I'm just saying like if they just actually like the show, then I guess they like the show. You know what? Whatever. I'm not gonna criticize people for liking a cartoon. I don't. Care.
Sure.
But
Rain literally cosplayed as Pinkie Pie, by the way. I don't know who that is, but it makes me want to make a dirty joke.
That's
And I'm
the
going to
pink
refrain.
pony.
It doesn't surprise me.
What was that?
That
Somebody
was
blowing their nose.
blowing their nose. Dom, you
Dom
got a
is-
hot mic, sir.
I was like,
Just
either
sharing
someone
his
blew
work.
their nose really hard, or someone like scraped a chair across the floor. So it's like I don't know.
No, it was my friend blowing his nose because he's an idiot. That's okay.
Whoa. That's not why you blow your nose.
He's like,
There's just
oh,
I mean, plenty
I'm
of
so
people
dumb.
blow their noses, and we're not all idiots, okay? Sometimes you just have to blow your nose.
just gotta
Dom
blow your
goes, no,
nose.
this guy's
No
an
need to
idiot. He doesn't know how to
insult me.
breathe,
You
so
know
he
when you blow
tries
your
that
nose,
way.
all your intelligence goes out, right?
This fucking idiot blowing his nose over here, you fucking moron. Get the fuck out of here.
Circling back to Simpsons, do you guys remember when Milhouse was explaining why you say bless you?
Oh, because
What?
you sneeze
Like,
and
explain
you
it
don't
to
say
Bart?
like the soul's
Like
trying to
your
It
escape
was
soul.
out
like
your
the devil's trying to
nose.
suck your soul out of your nose and say bless you. She shoves it back in.
It's true. It's true.
It'll never leave my memory banks. I'm just like, I try to tell people
My-
that all the time. I'm like, gotta shove it back in there.
Hey, so tomorrow we're gonna ride our bicycles, 30 miles.
I thought that's why you weren't here
I
tonight.
want
Happy
to
birthday,
ride
Dom.
my bicycle.
Was that a week ago or is
I
that?
want to
It's
ride
Dom's
my bike.
birthday.
Is that today?
Wait, oh, it's
Tomorrow.
Ride my bike with no handlebars.
Happy
No
birthday,
no
Dom.
handlebars. No handlebars.
Look at me.
Look at me, look at me, hands in the air like it's good to be alive, and I'm a famous rapper even when the paths are all crooked D.
Oh, you know the word? I don't know the word. I love that song, but I don't remember most of the words.
I can remember a lot of the words. Yeah. That's a good
Bars,
song.
yo, bars.
All right, well,
I'm just happy they got you singing, man.
well,
You
happy,
seemed like you were gonna avoid it
happy
earlier.
birthday,
Yeah, that
Dom.
happened.
I'll
You
do
got
a
me.
shot for Dom's birthday.
Yeah, it's Dom's
Fuck yeah.
birthday.
We're
Birthday
gonna do
shots.
some bong, then shots.
What?
Dom, you're breaking up so.
Tobacco bong, not really pop bong. Tobacco.
Oh, well, of course.
Of course.
The tobacco
Oh,
water
yeah,
pipe,
sure.
right? I mean, like that's what they.
Tobacco water pipe. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's right.
Dom, it sounds like you're broadcasting from underwater.
Yeah, I remember back in the day. All right, shots to Dom's birthday.
He's
happy birthday.
in the tobacco water pipe.
He's
They
in
built
the
a
water.
They built a hot
He's
tub-sized
a
one,
giant bong.
I remember
and
so
they put Saran wrap all around it. Now they're
back before weed was legalized in Washington. There were like you'd had head shops that would sell pipes and bongs and,
Sure.
and bubblers and stuff.
pollen boxes.
But the only reason they were able to sell those is because of a technicality, because they were meant for tobacco, right?
That's most states.
And so
yeah.
that's why, like a bong and a bubbler, you had to call them a tobacco water pipe, even when you were in the store. You couldn't. They couldn't call it a bong or a bubbler because those are meant for weed, and that's illegal. So it's a tobacco water pipe, and so like they'd make sure like anytime you went in there, like, oh, let me check out that bong. Like the first time, back in my day when I used to smoke a lot, I went in there and I was like, oh, I want to see that bong. And this was the first time I've ever been in the shop. And the guy's like, it's not a bong, it's a tobacco water pipe. I'm like, okay. I mean, what, you call it whatever you want. I want to see that thing, that glass thing right there that I'm going to smoke some weed out of. But,
I've been called out a couple times in shops.
The thing is that they were worried because there's only like 2 or 3 head shops in Spokane. There was like I went to Peace of Mind. That was a good one. Then you had Puff and Glass Studios, and then Zanies. Those are the 3 things in Spokane that sold pipes.
Listen up. Camera. No, camera. Listen.
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
Googly.
Oh, look at that! You hear that tobacco going? But yeah, so like
It's
they
an
were
American
like they were very
Some
adamant
really
because
good tobacco.
they were very adamant because they wanted to make sure that they wanted to make sure that they weren't getting in trouble because there were undercover cops all the time trying to bust their asses.
Sure.
All the head shops and
Ah.
shit.
War on drugs that we're winning, right?
Right, and then it became legalized, and then now like washes everywhere. It's like, I mean, you have like
Wait, all right, we gotta go, guys. All right, love you all.
See you, Dom.
I'll see you. Love
Be
you.
safe, buddy.
All right, see you, Dom. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day, man. Have fun.
Thank you.
But but yeah, so now you have all these like very creatively named places. Like you have Sativa Sisters or Treehouse Club, which is abbreviated THC, and you know, like things like that that are just like all the pot vendors.
like
And
that.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah, clever. I like it.
Green Light's another one, and they use like the, you know, like the red cross, same symbol, just make it green. It's like the
I've
green,
seen that one a few
the
places,
green
yeah.
cross is like the weed shop. So
Right. I think that's fairly widespread.
yeah, I
Like
think the
some-
green
that's
cross is like
different.
become the universal thing of like this is
No, in Europe, the green cross just means drugstore.
oh well, here it means weed store.
Well, in here you can't use red crosses for like other things
Yeah,
because
you
apparently
can't
like
use
you get
the Red
litigated.
Cross.
They'll Susan G. comb in your ass.
It's just kind of like crazy to think about. Like it took this long. Like think about it. Like weed is just like. think
Dude,
of
we're still
how-
fighting it. What are you
think of-
talking?
I know it's still fighting. There's a lot of states
It's-
that's
yeah,
still legal in. It's
it's
illegal
so
in my
stupid.
state. Like I'm in Idaho.
So
It's illegal in
stupid.
Idaho. But I mean, where I
It's legal in
live
Texas,
is like
legal
everyone
in
can
North
just go
Carolina.
10 miles across the border and buy weed and come. So it's essentially legalized in Idaho. You just can't be out in public with it like you can in Spokane. But
Well, there's decriminalized too, where they're just not going to enforce.
right,
things.
they're like, you know what? As long as you're not causing an issue, we're not gonna like
Right.
find you and get you for it. But it took this long. Like we're like in the later not later, but like it's 2010, 2020. By the time we're getting to this point where it's like, you know, a drug that is like less inebriating than alcohol. I mean, like, you look at someone that's super high and someone that's super drunk. Who do you think is more incoherent? The drunk guy.
I think
But
I think at this
drunk
point
is,
it's
drunk is allowed, and weed is like somehow this like taboo drug that like, oh my god, drugs. It's like that person's more functional than that guy.
I think at this point it's a combination of a few things. One is sunk cost fallacy. You can't just be like, oh, we give up after 30, 40 years and like bajillions of dollars and all the fucking
It's not
stuff
just
that we've got through.
It was originally illegalized for racial reasons, but then it just became this whole taboo of like
Reefer madness?
It's a scheduled drug. It's an illegal drug, and therefore
Right.
all illegal drugs are bad and evil. And so it just, even though it's a harmless, I mean, like
It's not harmless, but
well, yeah, I mean, like there's tar and stuff. I mean, like, but I mean, it is a compared to other narcotics and all that kind of
Sure,
stuff. It's a very mild drug, and it has become this. It became this whole massive like negative thing, and it took this long for people to realize like it's just fucking weed. Like it's really not that big of a deal.
We
chill
legalized it
out,
up
Sister Mary.
Yeah. And
here.
then
Legal as anything else up here, including for members of the military.
And I haven't seen any of them, just looking
When
it
I
up. So
talk to soldiers, like soldiers on course and stuff, I actually tell them that I prefer them to smoke dope, because when they smoke weed, they just eat chips and go to bed. When they get on the fucking alcohol, on the sauce, they go out and they fight and they fucking, yeah, they do
10 foot
stupid
tall
shit.
and bulletproof.
They steal cabs, like they do fucking stupid shit.
Wrap up their
It's-
Camaro that's on a lease,
Yeah,
around
it's-
stuff. And
It's way better if they fucking hit the bong hard at fucking 1830 and just like sit in their couch and play Xbox.
Read a couple
and-
pages of
and
the
eat
Bible and go to
fucking
bed.
chips, and you go to bed and then they're back at work the next day. It's great.
yeah. I mean, and
with
I mean,
no hangover.
you can swing this on to other topics too. I mean, like it's not just weed. Like, look at it took till 2015 for the federal government to realize that, like, you know what, it's okay for gay people to get married. 2015. It took until then. Like
That's
We
how
should
crazy
probably
fucked up our country.
steer this away
we
from
can.
talking
You're
about
right,
Yeah,
you're right.
It's getting very political.
Politics.
I was just saying, it's just surprising.
It's a minefield, and we're like waiting
Uh,
out it. It's right. Well, you know what's the problem is? Rain came around. She said she wasn't because she was gonna rage, and then she's been
Well, she wasn't gonna-
subliminally giving us these topics from chat.
That's right.
Rain is trying to radicalize the rest of us.
Yeah. Yeah, but here's the thing, Rain. If they're
And I
gay,
feel
they're
like-
not into you. Just saying. those cuties aren't
Rain.
into you.
Rain, listen.
Not yet. I don't think you can tempt them. Yeah, can we talk about eating the rich?
We can. Oh, fun.
What else?
Moving to North Carolina and working at the place that I work has been incredibly
I just had-
humbling
I
for all
had
these
I
things.
had this image. This image of Rain trying to turn a gay guy. And he's just shutting her down at every
Yeah, she's like, you don't want none of this? He's like,
Is she-
that's not a penis. I don't like it.
Is she pretty inebriated? Because
I
this
don't
is the
know
vision
how
I'm
else-
seeing.
I don't know how else
She's
to tell you
seen all the
this, but-
signs.
I don't know how else to mention this to you, but I'm not into that.
He's being like super cool and like trying to like spare feelings or whatever, but she's drinking, so she's like, no, that's cool, like whatever, like I'm into that too, like what?
Oh,
Listen, I have a serious medical condition, and I think you might be interested in checking it out.
Yeah, it's not the
Right,
same, though.
exactly that. And he's like, no, I never
Yeah,
want to be around one. And she's like, no.
You do, Rain, but you don't both have balls that can touch each other, at the same time. So that's it's a
There's a
no go.
line-
It's a no go.
there's-
It's a no go. You can't.
There's a line from a TV show that nobody remembers. It was called Wonder Falls, and it ran for a single season. And there's a lesbian character in it, and there's a guy that's trying to hit on her. She's like in a bar somewhere, and she's like shutting him down. And finally she says, "Listen, the reason I'm not attracted to you is because your genitals are on the outside."
Yeah. How embarrassing. Who keeps their genitals all out like that?
all out like
Just
that.
like
It's so
hanging out like
gross.
that. What the fuck?
Mine are
What kind of-
shriveling up just thinking about it.
What kind of genetic
It is
design
so
is
inconvenient.
that? It is inconvenient. Like
It's the worst.
why would you put your
It
sensitive
is
parts
the
outside where
worst.
they're like prone to danger?
There's a lot of vulnerabilities. But there's a lot of conveniences.
Is there?
It's arguably the most important part of your body and the most vulnerable.
I mean, they get in the way a lot.
Drayden, I could pee at things if I needed to. Like, of course, there's conveniences. I can whip it out in so many discrete ways.
Hey,
Being able
what
to
was
knock
that?
it
What was
out.
that one? You know what?
Go
Hey,
pee out in
You can,
nature.
you can pee in a bottle without a funnel.
100%.
well, okay, but here, Manny, what was that one biker pants Kickstarter thing?
Oh my god,
Yeah,
what
like,
was that?
There was and she had a whole video of like, here's how women could pee outside without getting their pants wet. They
It was
I think
some
I already
kind of
know.
device, but then
I think I already know. You just gotta pull up. You gotta pull up, which shoots it out, right? You just gotta.
it was weird.
You gotta pull
was
it up.
Weird.
You gotta
It
pull
was-
it up.
It was weird. It was weird.
Yeah, no, it was. But I'm saying it's possible.
But like
Drayden,
that's a messy.
how did the lady parts
that's
even work?
just-
It's not messy.
That's messy.
No,
I've-
no, they
I've
showed it
seen
wasn't
the-
messy. They had a whole thing on
I've
it.
seen the Shiwi.
The
which is a
Shiwi
device.
Seen that,
Shiwi,
right?
She was a thing.
I've seen that.
Yeah, sure. For camping and
No, here's the penis on the outside's fine. Why are the balls on the outside? Why can't those be inside?
Apparently, you got to regulate temperature. I think that's what
Yeah,
the nature
that's
of it is.
that's what it is.
Why can't your body
That's
just
why
regulate
they.
Inside
That's
the
why
body is too
they'll hang
warm.
lower on a hot day because they need
Yeah.
more circulation.
And chafe those damn thighs.
Why can't the body just like make it to where like this shit can just survive in normal body temperature?
Because Drayden, don't you know we were designed by an
Why
all-knowing and
can't it
all-powerful
just- why
God
can't
who
they just, like,
completely
hey,
thought
like,
through all these struggles we're
Make
gonna go
your shit just more susceptible to like temperature variances, and then I don't know.
Maybe
I mean,
we're not
thousands
there
of
yet.
years
To-
from now,
Listen,
To our
with
credit, we're one of the
evolution.
most temperature
Listen,
Evolution
adaptable
sucks.
species.
Why don't we just
As a-
genetically
no,
define ourselves to be
Drayden,
better?
Drayden, listen, I'm going to give you the science answer, okay?
Mm,
Here it is.
I want that.
As a species, we are still very young. We are very young as
That's
a
true.
species. There may
Well-
come a time where we evolve into something that can regulate our body temperature in that isolated area.
And then we'll suck our balls in.
We'll suck
I was
our
gonna say this
balls
sounds
in.
like the woke agenda to suck your balls in and
This is totally the woke agenda. Regulate your
I hope
temperature to protect your junk.
they're trying to
Here's
turn
what I
us
hope.
all into females.
I hope that one day we can just spawn like fish, where like females will
Where's
just
the
go to a
fun
spot
in that?
and males will just go to a spot and like shit will just go everywhere. And
But where's
then
the fun in that? And then
babies
you're
will show
swimming through all of it. Like,
up. Nope.
Isn't
does
there
this
a
have to
fish
be in a
that-
swimming pool?
But it could be in a river or a
You
stream.
can't get pregnant doing it in a swimming pool.
It could be
Oh, yeah, everybody knows that.
not in a hot tub because that's
not
not,
in a hot
temperature
tub.
regulated.
Yeah,
wouldn't-
temperature.
You
Like,
wouldn't get pregnant in a swimming pool.
it is impossible. It's scientifically impossible.
You wouldn't download a truck.
Listen, baby. Science says it's impossible, okay?
Yeah.
This is getting creepy. Let's move on.
To what?
Oh
What
man!
else
So
do we
after-
have?
So
I
you're
don't
talking about
know, man.
evolution. Did you guys
And our
ever
balls
read,
are up inside of us.
did
Go
you
on.
guys read that article that they're calling there's the clickbait articles are talking like the halfling human link. You guys seen that?
They were
have
they were
not.
talking about that in like
It-
the early 2000s.
But they're
Was
talking
this on
about
a
it
Lord of
again,
the Rings
and-
subreddit?
It's
So
no,
it's-
they
it's
literally
a-
found
it's
like
a-
a hobbit skeleton or something.
It's yeah. So, but here's the thing: why it's come back up is that they're, and it's clickbait. It's a bunch of clickbait, but there are
Sounds
apparently
like some Bat Boy
there are
National
some
Enquirer
apparently
shit.
some anthropologists and some various other people that are saying that that species may still be alive in Indonesia and Papua New Guinea somewhere.
There's tiny people out there.
Because there's a lot of areas of those in those countries, like in the especially Papua New Guinea, like in the jungle. There are areas in the deep jungle that have not been explored, at least not by anyone that came
Yeah.
out back alive.
Yeah,
Like that is one of the least explored places on the planet.
I find that really fascinating.
Yeah, it's
Right.
crazy because it's like you'd think that like this day and age, like not everywhere's settled, but we've seen everything.
Yeah, I
But
would
there
figure
are
yeah.
plenty of places in the deep jungle of Papua New Guinea that are just we don't know.
Are you
no
saying
one, no one's been there? We
Rain,
don't know what the fuck is there.
Wait,
We
whoa,
don't-
whoa, whoa,
it's-
whoa, whoa!
The
Time
Google
the
Maps,
fuck
the
out.
Google Maps car hasn't gone through there.
Rain, is
Yeah.
the new Love, Death, and Robots out? Is the new Love, Death,
Is
and
it?
Robots out?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes,
Oh,
it is.
Fuck!
I haven't
what
seen
am I
season
doing here?
2.
Why are we doing this show?
Do we
Why
want to
are
watch
we doing
that?
this show?
What is it called?
Love, Death, Robots.
Love Death and I
on
watched the
Netflix.
first season. I never watched the
Oh.
second season, but
The second is just as good.
is it?
It is.
We can watch
Oh my
that
god!
afterwards.
Oh my god! It's here, guys. The new season is here. Okay, I think I'm gonna go watch this.
All right.
I,
mean, we can
I
stream it.
love you guys. I love you.
All right, see you, man.
Bye.
Hey, love you
Bye.
too. Bye.
Bye.
I was
safe.
I was thinking I was either gonna stream that or the new Kenobi thing that came out.
Ooh, I haven't seen that
I
yet.
haven't seen any of them yet.
I think we're saving that for like movie night, family movie night.
Okay, I mean, yeah, you can.
It's logical.
I think it's only one episode, but yeah. So Obi-Wan Kenobi is out on Disney Plus, and I do plan on watching that. But I like some Love, Death, and Robots. Man, see, I didn't watch season 2. I haven't watched it yet, and I really should. I was a little dismayed because honestly, season 1 was there was a few I wasn't a big fan of, but there were some really cool ones. But holy fuck. Sonny's Edge, the very first episode of Love, Death, and Robots season 1 is one of the best animation shorts I've ever seen in my life. It's so fucking good. And I think the reason I hadn't watched season 2 is because I saw that the guy that wrote the short, because Sonny's Edge, it's like monster battles. Like, people, they send their mentality into the monsters, they control the monsters, and it's like monster battle arena. And it was really like the music, the setting, the visuals, the lighting. It was all just like, chef's kiss, top notch, excellent. And the guy that that short was made from a short story that a guy wrote. And then I saw that the guy that wrote that wrote a sequel to it. And then Love, Death, and Robots season 2 came out, and they looked at that extra short story and they decided not to do a thing. I was like, wow. I was like dismayed. I was like, the best episode ever from the first season, and they make a sequel for it, and you choose not to put that in your second season. I was just like, and so I kind of got a little dismayed and like didn't watch the second season, but I've heard it's pretty good. But yeah, Love, Death, and Robots. It's pretty good. It's just a random anthology of shorts, of animated shorts, in different animation styles, and they're pretty good. It's an interesting watch for sure.
Yeah, I don't even think I've heard of it.
3? Oh, good. Oh,
Did I
yeah.
tell
I
you
like that.
guys, I have 2 kill marks on my Ishtar.
2 on your Ishtar.
Oh
or
snap!
Ishtar?
Is it
My
your
ratting
crab?
Ishtar.
Oh
My
shit!
ratting Ishtar, yeah.
Did you just like randomly
what's
kill
up.
people?
So I've stopped ratting in this Ishtar, and I've started ratting in a Paladin, because why not?
Sure.
But people come in and steal the ESS, right?
Oh
as,
yeah, they do.
As you do.
As you do.
Sure.
So this guy came in a Gnosis, a Blaster Gnosis, and he was stealing the ESS. So I was just like, fuck it.
Fuck.
Let's go. Grab the Ishtar, went to the ESS. This an alliance mate of mine came in a fucking what is this? A curse? So we both went in. The curse neutered him out. I hit him with the fucking heavy drones. Popped the Gnosis, got the kill mark. Yay me. And then a couple days later, this other asshole shows up in a fucking cyclone. A heavy assault missile cyclone. He goes in and he's fucking stealing our shit. I go in. He manages to steal our stuff. So I go in with another guy in an Ishtar. So both of us in Ishtars. And then another guy shows up later in a, what's he in? A Stabber? Yeah, shows up in a Stabber later. So me and this other Ishtar are in there and we kill the fucking cyclone. And he drops all the encrypted bonds that he had stolen over his little foray into ESS thievery. And I got them all.
Nice.
So
And a
pretty
kill
proud
mark,
of
it sounds like.
myself. I got 2 kill marks on my Ishtar. And willing to get more.
That's the way to be. That's why I like when I did used to do like ratting, I like doing it in Aguila. Because you could just sit there and kind of semi-AFK with the drones or whatever, however you would do an Ishtar. But then when people like inevitably showed up, like tacklers and stuff ahead of their gang, you could like knock out their tackle with the light missiles.
Right.
It was nice.
Yeah. For some reason, this Ishtar seems to tank pretty well. I don't know why.
They've got a good resist profile.
Yeah, but it's shield tanked, right? So it shouldn't be that good. But it seems like in both of those encounters, well, I shouldn't say that because the Cyclone had me down to, I had 249 hull hit points left.
Goodness.
So I was a little close, but the Gnosis, like I was still 3/4 shield. Let me see.
Was he right up on you, the Gnosis?
Oh yeah.
I imagine his stuff got shut down pretty quick though with the curse.
Yeah, he got neutered out by the curse, and that's why
So he wouldn't have been able to test you really.
So without the ADC on,
Cyclone doesn't need the cap for. Oh wait, you said it was hams. Well,
it
no,
was
still doesn't
hams.
need cap.
No, he
right?
doesn't need cap.
Cap, no,
Yeah.
cap is
Yeah.
only for it should be fine cap.
Well, I was originally thinking projectiles, but with missiles, I don't think you do either. So you're fine.
Well, it gets missile bonuses, yeah. So you want to use.
I don't know if I've ever flown a Cyclone. I just know of them.
Yeah, it's a missile boat. So
I think it used to be. I think it used to play for both sides, but I could be wrong.
it might if it was, that was before I started using it ever, but.
Yeah, so it still has an explosive hole in the shields. So I don't know.
Patch.
Explosive hole in the shields?
Like the
That's
Ishtar that I
interesting.
have?
It's just saying it's his lowest.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
just saying that's weird because usually shields like kinetic and explosive is like their best resist.
Well, I have it fit for Santia Rats, right? So it has an EM
right.
shield hardener on it and a multi-spectrum shield hardener on it. So its EM resist is 78% without the ADC running. So 78, 74, 91 for kinetic, and 68 for explosive.
That just seems so low for explosive shields. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Anyway, but they must have picked the wrong fucking flavor of damage to apply to me.
It could be, yeah. And I mean, there could be a lot of things to it, application-wise. You know, whether you guys were cooking and keeping up transversal, and
It is an afterburner, like an oversized afterburner fit.
Yeah.
So it can move without signature
Once
bloom.
you-
I don't
once
think
you
it gets
get
a big
going-
signature bloom for micro warp drive anyways because it's a fucking hack.
I remember I was doing the,
Right.
the AFK tar, you know, like the old ratting AFK tar thing, and I remember I left it. I did the whole AFK thing, and I was like, okay, I'll start this anomaly, and I'll just like go up, and I went down to like make a sandwich. I was like eating stuff, and I came back, and I'm like, oh, I'm in a station. I must have got ganked. But then I looked, and I had 3 kill mails on 3 interceptors. So it's like I was just like AFK, and my drones just aggressed my aggressors and just killed 3 of the interceptors before they killed me. I'm like, I guess I'm misc positive. Oh, well, I wasn't quite, but I was like, it's almost even.
Felt good.
You know, I killed about 120 million and lost like 250, but you know that's not terrible. I was like, I guess I took some down with me. Interesting. Okay, well, I guess new Ishtar, but
So Ziggy there in, sorry, real quick, Ziggy there in channel, there's a video of Bjorn from like 4 years ago or something when he came out to Declan when Slice was still living there. And he was in, I want to say a Typhoon. And he had no prop mod. I think he had an MJD, but no prop mod. He was like brawly fit and he, you know, expecting to be running around streaming and people to come to him and, you know, have his, you know, fun. And he came across Ziggy in a system, AFK ratting in Ishtar. And he was like just orbiting a haven or whatever, and so he kept having to like try to triangulate it and stuff, and he'd get it where he could just barely grab him on a drive by and, you know, get some damage, and then he'd get out of range again and this that, and then the rats would swap, and you know, so he was like, he spent 20 minutes trying to do this, and finally towards the end Ziggy like came back to his computer and he was like, oh shit, what's going on, you know, and then Bjorn like ended up like self-destructing his ship and going back to Empire. He was like, I'm done.
I used to AFK Ishtar, but I wouldn't AFK it. I would sit there and watch it. And a few times I'd be sitting there ratting, and then someone would come in and I'd be like, okay, well, I'm watching D-Scan. They haven't shown up. And then I would fuck up and they would tackle me. But because I'm not AFK, I would just like abandon the heavy drones, launch the light drones.
Sure.
And then they're like, oh shit, he's paying attention. So you get this guy into like half structure and then he'd fuck off and you'd be like, oh, well, that was fun. All right. Call your light drones back in, reconnect back to heavies, and keep on making it.
Nice. Yeah,
I like
again,
these
that's why I like the
ESS
game.
fights though, because like, were you treating the ESS the way it should be treated? You know what I mean? Like somebody comes in to steal it, so you don't just like, oh, dock up and let him fucking. You're like, nope, fuck him. Let's go. Get whatever you got. We're going in. See what happens. And it's been working out pretty well. So
I'm glad you say that. It's funny because it didn't take long. I mean, granted, there are some very talented people. I've seen videos of people, you know, flying phantasms and some other just crazy, really specific stuff where they're like, oh god, these people are punching well above my weight class. But then like, there's this also, it didn't take long at all for, I hope you guys have probably seen this, these stabbers that have like no weapons or anything. They just filament around, and because people are so prone to just being like, oh god, someone's around, they're stealing the ESS, and they like get out of there real quick, these stabbers just go in and steal it. They have no like offensive mods at all. They're just overprop stabbers. They filament around the game and steal the ESSs.
oh, so
and
there's
then
like
you
super fast and super tanked or something.
just, you know, just a gamey cheap fit that if you did get on top of them and killed them, you know, whatever, they're not out almost anything, but most of the time people like stay away from them because they assume like PvPers in my space.
Oh.
And they get away with just robbing like all over the place. I've seen a bunch of them on
nothing but a
C-Kill.
getaway car is all it is. Just
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. So they're robbing the bank. So if you show up to the bank, they're like, fuck, run, cheese it. It's the cops. They'll just fucking align out with like, oh, like you said, overprop fucking vagabond or stabber or whatever, and just fucking burn out of the bubble and off
oh,
they
yeah.
go.
Yeah, so Ziggy,
Yeah.
Ziggy
And
saying like
they'll-
no tank, no DPS, just 100 MN and nanos. Fucking
Yeah.
YOLO stabbers.
Well, yeah, but the last two guys that came in to steal from us, they were fit to fight. Like
Yeah.
Cyclone was that guy was.
Well, and that's what most people assume, right? Even a stabber could be, and very likely is, you know. But then people realized that, I think, real quick, and they were like, I could just bullshit fit a stabber, like overprop and like go in and like half the time I just get away with robbing people. Like, why wouldn't I? It's 20 million
I've done
every time
that.
I die or something.
If it's a
I've
bunch
done
of
that too,
ratters
but
that-
it was with an overprop phantasm, so 100 MN on a phantasm.
That's an expensive
but
hull,
it
though.
still
Stabber's cheap.
had, yeah, it still had small lasers on it, so it still did some DPS. but not as much DPS as it should. But yeah, we would go in and steal shit, and then if anybody came to get us, we would just fucking burn a straight line out, and then
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's the thing. Like Stabber's what, 20 mil for a hole,
yeah.
and Phantasm's like 100 or something like that. So
It's a
Yeah, I think they went up too when ESSs came out because they
Uh-huh.
were like quickly decided to be one of the better things with it. I've been wanting to build like a nightmare for ESS defense. I don't rat much, so I never really go into them very often. But
I have a nightmare.
How do you like
it? Just for just that.
Have you tried?
I don't know. Like somebody gave it to me. I want to say like a year and a half ago. They gave it to me when we were living in Stain. They're like, "Here's a nightmare.
Sure.
We're gonna go do silly spider tank nightmare things." I'm like, "That sounds fun. Cool." We never did. We never used it. And then like maybe a month ago, I was looking at my assets. I'm like, "There's a fucking nightmare just sitting there doing nothing." So we did like a rescue op for it. We went and got it out of Stain, flew it out.
Nice.
And I was like, well, now what am I going to do with this thing? Because every time I tried to use it to kill bad guys, it's so fat and slow. But by the time I get to where the Brutix is tackled, I get there, I lock him up, the Brutix pops. I'm like, fuck, missed it. Okay, we'll lock up the capsule. Lock up the capsule. You see the thing ticking around. Boop, 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 boop. Capsule pops. Well, shit. All right,
yeah, you
fine.
need some
Turn around.
SIBO.
Oh, we got somebody else tackled. Okay, well, line over there. No, missed that one. So I just stopped undocking it.
Yeah.
But now it's in my it's in this other system ready for ESS defense. So we'll see what happens.
I think it could find a use there. Decent use.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's got stuff on it.
I've got one or two floating around that I've never really done anything with, but I've pondered on.
It's got a grappler. It's got a warp disruptor too. It's got a afterburner on it.
You should stick that in a mutaplasm.
I don't have that. Oh, ooh.
You know what I'm talking about? Like if you're just using a
Yeah.
T2, like might as well try to roll a little bit better.
Yeah. Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
So I don't like gambling in general. Like I don't mind scratch offs and whatever, but I wouldn't like go out of my way to buy them. That was always one of those things like my mom would put in like a stocking stuffer or something, like, you know, silly fun holiday something.
Right.
Or like something crazy happens where people are like, go buy a lottery ticket, you know, you have such a crazy lucky day or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
or like the Powerball is like $710 million.
See, I don't do
I
it.
can't. I'd be stupid
I
not to buy one.
I don't do it. You're just perpetuating it.
it's fine.
It's just flying up in the hype.
Here's my thing.
Yeah, but
it's a few bucks.
That's
It's not like you're in there.
Scratch-offs, though.
It's not
Scratch-offs are
like you're
fun.
in there every
Yeah, but
Friday
it's-
being like $60 on the
You're right,
Lotto
you're right.
Max. You're looking at it and you're like, it's $1 billion. Like,
it's a
if
few
I
bucks.
don't buy one, I'm gonna feel
yeah,
stupid.
Yeah, my thing is like I'd
I'd
buy
never
like,
feel stupid.
I maybe buy like one lotto ticket a month, maybe two, depending on what it gets to. But my thing is, it's like it's a few bucks. It's like $3. Like Powerball is up to $3 now, which I guess like, you know, it used to be $1, but now it's like it goes up faster, right? So whatever. So it's like it's $3. If I spend $3 every other week or every third week, that's not going to hurt me money wise. And if it gives me even if it's a, you know, 1 in 250 something million chance, it's like all the people that have won the lottery in the past, they didn't think they were going to win, but they did. So it's like, what if, you know, I'm not planning on winning.
They all thought they were going to win. That's why they bought tickets.
No,
I know.
Listen,
but real
you
quick, where I
miss
was going with that.
you
100%
don't
of the
think you're
shots
going to
you
win.
don't
It's
take.
like you buy a ticket because you're like, what if I do?
Go
And
with
if
it.
I don't, you know what? Here's the thing. That slight little bit of excitement when you're checking the numbers, that like 10 seconds of excitement.
Sure.
If that's
So
worth
where I
three-
was going
if
with
that's
that
worth
was-
$3, why not?
So I don't
Going
care
to
for
business.
HyperNet, and in general, like I was like, mutaplasmids. I know some people who like do that for fun, where they like buy mutaplasmids and like scratch off with them, and I'm like, that's a little bit flagrant for me. I'm very practical in this game with my money, but anyway, so one day I was just having a conversation one night on comms with people, and we were talking about fitting up some Rorks or something, and like talking about fits, and whatever fit I showed or they showed or somebody showed had like just a T2 damage control, and they were like, well, why don't you mutaplasmid it? And I was like, oh fuck, I don't know anything about mutaplasmids. Like I've run some abyssals and I stick all that shit in a can, and like maybe one day I'll touch it, whatever. I don't play with any of it. And
Oh, good.
so they were like, here, I'm gonna bring you. They were like, do you have some damage controls? And I was like, yeah, I stock my core hanger pretty well. Like they were like, I'm gonna bring you 10 of these like just low end mutaplasmids, and they were like, just roll 10 of those damage controls through it, and then theoretically something will come out better, and then use that on your ship. And I was like, okay. And like 2 of them came out pretty good, and I was like, oh, that's fun. I like that. Like if you're just rolling like slightly better T2 or even like meta mods, whatever, I can't imagine ever burning through like faction, Dead Space, officer mods trying to like build the unicorn.
Yeah,
but like to make like slightly better other mods that are vastly affordable, like that was kind of nice.
Yeah, like T2s is fine because like if you run a T2 and it gets turned into shit, you're like,
fuck.
I mean, like the mod itself is like anywhere from like $500,000 to like 3 million. But I mean, I don't know what the mutaplasmid things themselves cost. Maybe a little more, but the thing with mutaplasmids on contract, it's like it's hard to know because it's like they're not something go on the general market. And so you don't know what the actual valid price of that is because the market would set a determined price for the value of that specific thing. It would balance itself out to a certain area to where it's like, but if it's on contract and there's only like, there's not many like they're all like unique and individual on their values.
There's
and
communities
so
and like websites around that, like where people have tried to create the
to
market for
make a value worth
standardize things.
Oh,
where you could compare things and like see them listed in like an eBay listing view, so you could compare things on the fly and like you could actually I don't know, try to determine value.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, maybe this damage control, it's like it has lower CPU fitting, that's cool, but maybe the resistances are a little bit lower. And you don't know what's happening with the power grid, or I assume the power grid probably doesn't really change because that's generally like just a 1 for
a lot of mods,
damage control. But it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I don't know, like they're selling for X amount of money, like maybe like 20 million. It's like, is it worth spending 15 million more or 18 million more for this damage control that has a little bit less power grid or a little bit less CPU, I mean, or and maybe like 3% more resistance across the board? Like, is that worth it? I mean, yeah, it's better. It's better. But is it 18 million ISK better? Like I don't know how to value prices like that. And so when and everything's on contract, so you don't really have a comparison. You just have like, do you want to buy this or not? Straight up. And so I don't know. The mutaplasmid market, I think it's like if you're not really knowledgeable on like, price economics, I feel like it's just like you're either going to get swindled or the person that's selling on the market is going to get swindled and they don't know what they have. They're like, oh, this is a really valuable thing. They're like, I don't know. It's like, I'll sell it for 10 million more. It's like, you could have sold that for 100 million more, like based on the shit you roll with that. But
and because of all that, like I would never see the merits in like doing it for a side hustle or anything. Like that's something that you want to bling out some stuff to throw on some of your ships to like have slightly better
like there's
stats,
some scams with it though. I feel like there's people that like roll the mutaplasmids and when they hit the jackpot on something, like, oh, this is money, and that maybe probably pays for a lot of other stuff. But then they're probably also like the things that are like, like a little bit benefit here, a little bit downside here. It's like in actuality, it's probably like not really that great. It's like if it's even a little bit better, it's like maybe only a few million better for the mod, but they might find a way to swindle someone into paying like an extra 50 to 20 million for it. And they're like, oh, well, shit, that just paid for, it's like, this was a 5 million ISK mod and someone bought it for 20. Win,
Yeah, I don't know much about it. I would venture to guess there's not like a huge healthy market around all of it, right? Like I would venture to guess that most people are end users when it comes to mutaplasmid.
That's a point too. Santiago is saying like you can use Abyssals to get around stacking penalties, really cheap mod to like just now maybe it has like downsides elsewhere, but if it has like a really high end DPS upgrade, it's like you just like he's saying like just brick it in there to like it's just fucking stack DPS. You get some other downsides, but if you have enough CPU or capacitor to run the thing that you're doing, if it gives you that much more DPS, then you just like glass cannon.
I don't understand. Why would a bricked mod give you better DPS than a good mod?
He's saying like if you get a really good increase in DPS, but maybe it's like way more in like CPU or way more in capacitor usage, but like if you're not going to tank your ship enough that you need the other CPU or power grid, or you don't need the capacitor, like you get all that extra DPS that you want, and you don't really care about the downsides, then
Yeah.
sure.
I think about the
you hit like a
fitting
truck,
space the
but
least, I
maybe maybe you have to like sacrifice one of your tank mods to like account for the fitting downsides. I don't know.
I suppose. Yeah, I think about the fitting space the least on the few that I've done. It's usually about whatever the main attributes that you want to see go up.
I was like, that's my thing. Like, I don't fit ships. I'm not a ship fitting tinkerer, but I do like to fit my own stuff on my own. But the thing is, like, my ships come out really bad. Like, it's I'll fit up like, oh, I got it all to fit, and I got some. I think that's like a respectable DPS, and my taste okay. And then I'll show my fit to other people. They're like, what the fuck is this garbage fit? I'm like, I don't know. Someone gave it to me. Like, fucking dumbass,
Someone gave it to me.
What a fucking
all Drayden's
idiot, right?
losses end up on embarrassing loss of the day.
And I'm just like, oh shit, I tried my best. So I don't know, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, this is the damage I want. And then I'm like, oh fuck, that's a lot of damage. But the way you get that much damage is like you overload yourself on shit. It's like,
that's a lot of damage.
You can't. Yeah, it's a lot of damage. You can't have that much damage and have a tank. So it's like, do you want to go full glass cannon? Like, someone throws a fucking tin can at you and you explode? And it's like, okay, I need a little more tank, but I'm not going to sacrifice my guns. And that's usually my downside. It's like, I refuse to sacrifice my super high-end, max T2 guns, but it's like, that takes all your fitting space. It's like, that means, okay, do I sacrifice the damage modules and the lows, or do I just sacrifice the fucking shield extender in the mids? I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I want that shield extender, but I don't have the CPU. So then I'm like, you know what? Take off a damage low and put in like a fucking CPU a core processor thing, which then it's like, okay, but you just fucked your low slot tank, or you just
avoid fitting mods.
I know. It's like I have this horrible habit of putting like CPU processor coprocessors in there because I'm like, I need the CPU. It's like, yeah, but you're using garbage. You're wasting a slot for that. It's like, but I want those guns. I want those guns and the damage, and I want the. That's why I don't fit shit. Like, and I see other people's fits. I'm like, yeah, but you don't have the best guns. They're like, yeah, but I have. Surviving longer with slightly worse guns is better than having the best guns and living for half the amount of time. But
right,
I think I'm
the sacrifice a lot on some.
That's not the way I roll. I'm like, dude, more firepower, more. Give me all of it.
Yeah. All the DPS.
Fucking autocannon tornadoes. Let's go.
Oh fuck! Don't
look at those DPS numbers. Let's go.
They'll never suspect it. They're gonna be like, "Let's get under the guns," and then bam, auto cannons.
Yeah, dude, that tracking.
Nope.
That tracking.
You're also still a tornado, and you're fucking made of paper mache. And now you're dead. And now all my Twitch points are gone. Fuck.
Yeah, DPS take.
I did the same.
Yeah, it's like kill them before they kill you. That's how I take my ships.
Yeah, it's like I'll make a fit, and it'll be like, "Oh, look at this fucking fit! It does like 1,000 DPS, no EHP on it." And then I'll get in a fight, and I won't be able to apply any of that DPS.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're kitey bullshit, and I just die quickly and quietly, and then stop fitting my own ships.
Yeah, and then sometimes I'll try and do like sneaky fits. I did one. It didn't work out quite as well as I thought it was going to, but it also it worked in the one aspect I wanted to, but not quite in the second. This is when I lived in the north. Imperium, but I think it was actually CFC still at the time. I don't think it had been rebranded to the Imperium yet. But what was that group in Pure Blind? That was
Which time?
What was the
Give me the
Mortis
era.
guys, right?
Mortis Legion.
Mortis Legion, yeah.
Yeah. So they were doing this whole fad of like just running around in interceptors. Like that's crows and what's the other longer range interceptor? Not the close range.
Cormorant.
Not
I feel like they use a lot of
destroyer. No, it was crows and There was another interceptor that was like
Probably stilettos, but I don't know.
no, because I don't think it was a Minotaur one.
Well, what race was it?
Well, crows for one, definitely, because those were like rockets or,
Sure.
or missiles. They could.
The Ares? Railguns?
Was it a raptor? Was it a
Raptors?
crusader? Was it a malediction? Was it a
Maledictions, I think. I don't know. I think it was maledictions and crows, but I think it's mostly crows. But anyway, so they were like basically sticking out further away, getting under the guns of battleship. They basically catch battleships and just it'd take them a long time to kill them, but just through peppering them for long enough, they would just kite the guns and kill them. Jackal is no, not Jackal. But so what I fit up a Roke, and I fit it up with a massive like active tank, like reppers and all kinds of stuff like that. And I just over massified the tank and the tracking disruptor or tracking enhancers and stuff in the lows and all kinds of stuff. And then I put small railguns on it.
Yeah.
Just eight small railguns.
Yeah.
Which gave me all the fitting I wanted for the best fucking tank I could get. So I was like,
and I hope tacklers cling to you.
It's like they're gonna have to have like 50 fucking interceptors to kill me through this tank. And then I had like long point, like a faction long point, like faction web and stuff like that. And I had some drones and everything. And so I was like, I'm gonna fly around. I'm gonna get tackled, and they're like, oh, we're gonna get under his guns, and I'm gonna like point and web them and just like blast them with my fucking railgun, my small railguns, which are gonna track them like crazy at like 10 kilometers. Sounded good on paper. It worked out. They did tackle me. They did like start swarming around.
The blob
me.
is quick.
And they couldn't kill me. Like there was like 10 of them, and they couldn't kill me. But
you also couldn't kill them.
Yeah, because apparently small railguns really don't work that well at 30 kilometers, which is what they were actually sticking around at. And I was like, that's fine, because in my web I could point them out that far, but I couldn't slow them down. So my railguns weren't hitting out that far. They didn't need to get in closer. I think they figured out pretty quick what my fucking scheme was. Those are small railguns. Like, just, don't get in close. You can't get under those guns. Stay out of those guns. But they were, sticking out long enough. And then I was like, okay, I can't point them, or I can't web them. But I got warriors, so I'd send the warriors at some guys, and like, because those would kill them eventually. But whoever I sent the warriors at, they would like start burning out, and they try to kite my drones out, and I'm like, okay, recall the drones, stick them on this guy, and like they just kept taking turns. I was like, okay. Eventually, it got to a stalemate. It's like, you guys can't kill me. I can't kill any of you. I think I did get one guy. He was he must have fucked up or something. He got a little close, and I did blast him up. So I think I killed one interceptor, and then so
tanked and reapproached.
Yeah, it eventually got to I eventually like went back to the gate, and they understood that, like,
said in local, this was real, guys.
I don't
See you later.
I don't think they had enough guys to like come and get me with something bigger, so they eventually just let me go. And it was just kind of one of those things where it's like, all right. In my head, I was like, I had this idea, is just to, like, get these swarm of interceptors around me. I was just gonna like blast them, like boom, boom, and it didn't work out like that. I got one. Should have went with medium blasters or some shit. No, blasters would be even the shorter range. I don't even know what you go with. Small railguns? I could have put that on it. Rogues could fit railguns, right?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I used to do similar with Hurricanes. Undersized projectiles on Hurricanes. And then just fly them kitey and like have tackle run up to you and then be like, I apply great to you.
That's not a mixed drink yet. That's just vodka.
Oof.
That was strong.
Straight liquor.
That was.
Put hair on your chest.
It's fine. Like, it was just a shot. It's fine when you know it's coming, but when you're not expecting it, it's unexpected. Yeah, medium rails might have. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, if I went medium rails, then they could have got up close, and they could get under. You can get under the guns at medium rails.
Lasers.
Yeah.
Lasers for
what
sure.
I should have went
Pulse
with.
lasers.
I should have went with
Paladin
4.
with small lasers.
I should have went with 4 medium and 4 small rails. Get close. I hit you with the
Yeah.
4 small rails. That's enough. You stay away. 4 medium rails will get you. Like that would probably would have been
Yep.
smart. Smart bombs
you
would
should
have
have.
worked.
You should have added just a little bit of armor tank to it too.
Yeah.
Dual tank.
They never got even close to the breaking the shields. At their best, they had like 10 to 12 guys, and they got like, I was even like tank baiting them, like letting my shields just run a while before I activated my reppers. I had like one XL ancillary, and I think I had like another XL just repper.
Right.
So I had 2
Were you-
XLs, which
Were
like
you
you know.
blue pill?
No, I didn't use any drugs because I just
okay.
always forget to use drugs. But the thing's like I had 2 XL
That's right, kids.
rappers.
Stay in
But the thing's
school.
like you could
Don't
do
do
that
drugs.
if you're using all small guns on a battleship. You could fit that. That normally wouldn't fit with larges, but
Have you seen that guy on Instagram, the Be a Man guy?
no.
Yeah. Somebody
He's
showed
always
me
like-
a few of those.
Don't let anyone ruin your day. Ruin it yourself. Be a man.
Yeah, it's all like real terrible advice, but it's like it's pretty fun.
Don't take drugs in EVE Online. Die with them in your cargo hold. Be a man.
I
Yeah.
always do. That's the thing is like people are like, oh, take this fit with these drugs. I usually don't bring the drugs because I'm like, I'll never fucking remember to take these unless like the Logi Anchor or the FC is like, everyone take your drugs. I'm like, oh yeah, you gotta take
Trading-
my fucking medicine.
You got to do more solo and small gang, man.
I know. I just
You'll still die a bunch with your drugs,
my
but
thing-
you'll remember
my
a
thing
few
is
more
it's like,
times.
yeah, but like that's irreplaceable loss of income. Like, why would I buy drugs to like use it and that you don't get it
you don't
back?
pay for them.
You know what's worse
They give
than
so many
dying
drugs
with
away
them
at this,
in your cargo hold is taking them, expecting
and
to
then
fight,
not getting your fight.
then not getting a fucking
Yeah,
fight.
that's the thing that I hate because like
If you have your biology skills up high, you should get them for a while, like 4
well,
hours.
Right, I have my biology up, but the thing is like what LB just said is generally what happens most of the time. They're like, all right, we're warping and everyone take your drugs. I take my drug and then like the other team they warp away or there's no fight. It's like I just
That's why
and then there's no fight for like the next hour. It's like I just wasted these drugs. Like why did I even buy them? Like I understand they give you a little bit of an edge. So small gang warfare or solo PvPers, they're like every single little bit of an edge counts and that matters. But like when I'm there in a big giant fleet fight, it's like, you know what? My fucking 5% bonus to whatever the fuck I'm doing, is that worth me spending all this money for? Like if we're all repping this guy and he dies, my 5% extra rep bonus is with the stacking penalties they have. It's like it's probably actually accounting to like a 1% bonus. That shit ain't gonna save that guy. If he dies, he fucking dies. Like I mean, why am I buying these drugs? But that's just me, the practical pilot as opposed to the optimist pilot.
See, I'm optimist, but I am also practical. So like I spent the first like 12 plus years of this game not using implants like ever.
I
not even learning implants. And people were like, you never pop into learning implants? And I was like, no, I just I die a lot, or I charge into things, and so it doesn't seem feasible. And they're like, yeah, but when you're not doing that, you can sit in the good ones. And it took me a long time to ever sit in good implants.
Yeah, my thing is I would I for a long time when I was actually training to because I was behind the grade and all the stuff that we were trying to fly, and I was chasing doctrines is what I call it. I did do the 4% training implants, but then I would make sure okay, the fleet's coming up. I'm going to jump clone out of my implant because just in case I die, because it does happen once in a while. But
well, then the solution is to get space wealthy, and then you just don't care anymore. So you don't go out of your way to waste your implants. That's the best solution I've found so far.
Just don't be poor.
If you're homeless, buy a house.
Yeah, just buy a house. Yeah.
You guys have been around for a while. You know how to do
this. So my thing is I don't really do implants.
Back when you were in CDOT, you should have just taken away people's moons and then
here's the thing. When I said the few times I would do solo PvP or fitting up a ship that I want to truck around, if I'm fitting it up in the thing, I'm like, fuck, I'm short 2 power grid. It's like, you know what? fuck it, I'll buy a 1% power grid implant. That's like, you know,
Yeah.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that.
Those are
fine with-
handy as
Yeah,
fuck.
I'm fine going up to like, you know, 2-3% is you start getting like the
2-3%,
20 something million range, but like 1 to 2% that's like 1% is like what, like 5 million, 2% is like 10 million.
Within the 100Ks most of the time, I think.
Yeah, they're super cheap. So like I'm fine getting those, and it's like if I just need like a little bit of CPU or a little bit of power grid instead of like, you know, swapping out a tank rig for it, I'll just, you know,
100%.
I'll just put an implant in for it. Like, I'm fine with that. But aside from that, like fitting implants is like 90% of the implants I use. As far as like, you know, people using slave sets and all that shit, it's like, fuck, hell no. I'm not spending $1 billion on implants to give me like what a 7% bonus on shit. Fuck that.
Yeah, just to die in a
I'm
bubble.
not that much of a min maxer. I'd rather just lose my ship than spend that much extra money on that tiny bit of a bonus.
I bought myself a mid-grade. Goddamn, it was the probing one. Starts with a V, I think. Valkyrie set? No, that's not right. I don't remember the name.
Oh.
Mid-grade
Could be.
something that you use for probing at some point, because I was like, let's see what it's like. You know, every once in a while I like to go do exploring for, you know, a little while. And it was nice for the like week that I had them. And you know, you scan down your SIGs in your local constellation quicker, and you know, you find the relics or datas or whatever quicker, and it, you know, it was nice. And then I like left that alt sitting on a gate, you know, out in like Venal or something at some point, not paying attention to it, and I might have even got to bed. I can't remember.
So
or, you know,
Uncle,
falling asleep. But yeah, so I had them for like a week, and it was a waste. I was like, that wasn't worth what I spent for it.
Real quick, Uncle Felzar in chat. You can, if it's a link you're gonna post, if it's an appropriate link, go for it. We don't have any.
Don't advertise that.
We don't. Well, here's the thing. We don't
He
have.
took a smoke break, but he'll be back soon.
Everyone in the chat has always been trustworthy. We're fine with people just posting stuff. Just make sure it's legit. If people abuse it, then we'll start restricting it. And if you post something that's inappropriate, we'll ban you. But you know, if it's just like a, if it's just like a link or, you know, something like a Zeke kill or Eve related shit or even just like, you know, something non-offensive, go for it. Just post it. It's fine. Yeah, if you post porn, you're fucking banned. We will ban you. So that's the thing. It's a call out to help for a fellow Eve streamer. Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. Generally, not a good idea to like post links to other streams in someone else's stream. I'll say that, but it's a little bit of a taboo-ish thing.
You should tell them to poke it to you on Discord first.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're worried about it, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, go ahead and post it on the Discord or something. I mean, it's kind of like you generally don't want to go to like another show and be like, hey, everyone else, check out this other show, like, you know, at the same time.
Is it Rampage Inc? You can't force me to.
Was he talking about Rampage? I saw Rampage.
No, I'm totally. I'm just being a shit.
I was like, Rampage was streaming before we started.
Like, check out this other stream. They're.
We got Rampage going. What's his name? I think he's offline now. Fuck, what's his name? I was watching him before the stream. Why is my
Give me a letter, or
Mr.
something.
Yes, yeah, thank you. Yes, Deshin. I was watching Mr. Unlucky. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah, I've watched him a couple times. He seems.
No,
okay.
I like his. He's got a good stream going on. I was watching that about like 30 minutes, 40 minutes before the show. I was just kind of checking him out for a while. So
He came out to our space one time, and apparently, and I wasn't watching the stream yet, but like I clicked in on afterwards or something, and apparently he told people not to say good fight afterwards. They were doing like NPSI stuff, and I was like, oh, that's pretty lame. Like, he may not be all that nice.
I like his stream. He's a fun streamer to watch. He does some good shit. So
right on. Yeah, wormholes are balls, Drakenhoff, so don't worry about those. Those people are like high on their own farts, and
they make a lot of money though on those farts.
Yeah, they do. and they have been for a long time, and not many people have ever gone and dipped their toes in to unseat them.
I mean, is that what we're doing wrong? We're just like not doing enough fart.
It might be. You gotta be more smug and get some Priuses or whatever that
Should
South
we,
Park episode told us.
Should we like run on fart money?
I mean, it's got to be as good as our normal fiat currency.
Fiat?
Fiat? Yeah, isn't that what our currency is?
Isn't that like an Italian car?
It is also the name of a car brand. Yes.
Okay. I was like,
The word I think means something.
wait, are we
now.
selling Fiat? We got Fiat money. We got Fiat sponsors.
And Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah. Okay. So Theshin Kickers say to he's like,
Yeah, I
he's
just
usually
read it.
all about the good fights. If he said don't say good fights, there probably was some like some previous super beef going on beforehand.
So what it was, he was doing MPSI stuff, but he was flying with some of those War Eagle fleet guys from up in Fraternity, and apparently they got a hate boner for Slice. So I don't know. I think it was probably drama related, but I just thought it was kind of shitty because I don't know if you go and
I'm
people
always about
give
good
you fights.
but yeah.
Yeah, if people fight you, then you say good fight.
I always say good fight. The only time I won't say good fight is like if you get in a small.
If somebody
thing.
drops a
You
nix
get-
on
you
your
get
venture,
small- when you get in a little bit of a row and you get some shit blown up and people go their own ways, be like, "Yo, good fight," or like, "Oh," people will talk about like what happened, or like, "Oh, I meant to do this and you guys did this." They'll like break down the fight sometimes, like in local. But then sometimes you get the thing where it's like people jumped on you and they blow you up. They're like, "Oh, they eat shit, fucking nerds! Like you fucking piece of shit." It's like, I'm not gonna.
well, yeah, of course you
I'm not
wouldn't
gonna
say good fight to that.
Like, I'm not gonna say good fight to those people. Fuck those guys.
I think
You
it's
know.
usually a mutual thing. If it, if somebody kicks it
Be
out, and it
humble
wasn't
in
like
victory and gracious in defeat. That's what I say.
that's 100%. Yeah.
Oh,
Should-
local is
Alright.
primary. Local is primary.
Yeah.
Fuck it up. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm fine with shit talks. I'm like, if it's shit talking good fun, that's one thing. But if it's like shit talk, like actually just trying to be a piece of shit to someone else just to like piss them off, it's like, yo.
That's historically been one of the few rules I've ever like tried.
There's
to push
better
in my
ways
corp,
to use your
was
time.
like, don't be a
but-
piece of shit in local.
Yeah, like there's a
But
difference.
we have used it to draw out a fight. So there's like a fine line between shit talking where it's like terrible and shit talking where you're just like fanning the flames real quick to like bring them out.
Okay, now I get it, Val. I was like, but yeah, I mean, like it's one of those things where it's like, you know what? Hey, I'm fine with some shit talk, some just general banter shit talk. That's fine. But like when it starts actually turning like hostile and toxic, then that's where I'm just like, you know what? Fuck you, dude. Like I don't sit there and like rage in local chat and like retaliate, but I'm just like, you know what? Fuck these people. Fuck this guy. I'm out. I'm gonna go back to doing my thing. So.
Have you seen that? There's a comic strip, and it's like a guy. He's walking down the street, and he picks up a flag. He's like,
Yes, I love that.
"Oh,
Go ahead.
what's this?" So he doesn't even know like what. It's just a flag with like a team symbol on it. And some other guy walks by. He's got the opposite team on it, and he's just like, "Hey, how's it going?" And the next frame is a guy like, "Fucking dick."
Yeah, fuck that guy or something like
Fuck
that.
that guy.
I love that one.
Like no real affiliation to that team
Right.
whatsoever. Just
But-
picked up the flag.
And now you're part
Some-
of a tribe.
Some other guy on the other side. Hey, how's it going? Fuck you. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. Also, there's something, and I've seen it made like Eve memes out of it a few times, and I've also seen it around other things. But like, it's like a mirrored picture of like it's got like a castle and like a keep, and then like whatever, and then like the river, and then whatever, and it's like our glorious this, our whatever this, and on the other side it's like their heathen this, and it's all just the same things on both sides, but it's like how you narrate, your enemy. I disagree, Valimir. I think there is true good fights in Eve, and I would like to think that anybody who's PvP'd at least a decent bit like has found some pretty good fights. I don't think every fight is a good fight, and I don't think most fights are a good fight. Let's be honest. You're not supposed to give good fights. People come to your space. I always think it's super entertaining when people come to your space and then they like complain. If you blob them, if you drop things on them, if you do whatever, because I'm like, you literally entered my home. Like I have no obligation to give you any consideration. Like you're either slowing me down from making my money or doing this, that, or the other. Like I'm not in Horde, I'm not in Brave, I'm not like, hey, we attract all the content. Like come and give us fights, we'll give you fights. Like, no, it's just you came into my home and I get to dictate how I respond. But at the same time, like I don't think we as a smaller alliance, we'd never try to be too egregious on anything.
Wormhole space, when I lived in it, had like an unwritten rule where if somebody came and wanted a fight, and you could offer a fight, you would offer a fairish fight. So like you wouldn't like blob the shit out of them or upship them or give them the hard fucking counter. You'd fly something comparable.
Right.
And then if you were known for offering good fights, it wasn't that people would keep coming to your hole to fight you, it was that they wouldn't evict you.
I remember that from the early days of Wormholes. I think that kind of died out itself too.
Well, recently it's not been like that because there's sort of a unwritten wormhole coalition where all the big C5, C6 players just choose not to evict each other.
Right.
But they have no problems evicting people in C4s, C3s just for shits and giggles and for content. But I think it's still pretty prevalent within the lower class wormhole groups that if someone comes to your home, to your hole, and you can offer a fight, a fight is usually had, and then depending on what happens, you get to continue living in your hole. I've been online in a wormhole before where people have come in, they've come to our citadel, they've knocked on the front door and said, we're looking for a fight. And it's been just me online, and I have to go on local and be like, listen, it's just me online. This is our off time zone. Like, we don't have anything for you. And the response is usually like, okay, cool, understandable. Have a nice day. And then they leave the wormhole, and that's it.
Yeah, that's fair. I also another thing that I always thought was funny too. So generally, when people come into your space, either solo or small gang, they go looking for what they can have, which is things that are usually not set up for them or, mostly defenseless, be it either miners or ratters, outside of some things like your badass Ishtar. But I remember back to like the friggin' Matterall thing, where it's like, these streamers, they run around and they go out and they think, I'm going to run around as a hunter in the woods and, run around with my gun and then get disappointed when all the animals realize and, they run away or whatever. Oh, shit. Shield warning. Fucking gate rats. Sorry. Eve has sounds, and you should play with them if you're negligent, kids.
Agreed.
Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Don't forget that, because people like me need them.
With the BRM and the ESS set up the way it is right now, it rewards you for not providing people content, but engaging in content.
There's kind of an interesting dynamic there. I agree.
Like, people complain because, I've ratted my system down to 85% and it's not even worth living here anymore, and blah, blah, blah.
Go next door.
Like, go next door. Or
if you're a renter, then you can't do that. But the thing is, like, if you're renting, then you're renting for the spaces available in that one system. That's what you're renting.
When you were crabbing in that system and there was 250 million ISK in the bank, and some guy in a caracal came in and stole it all from you, what did you do? Did you dock up and just fucking, ESS is stupid? If you did that, then you have no one to blame.
It was never your money anyway,
because you did not engage in the content that was provided for you.
Or just cash out your fucking ESS more often.
If you choose
lower payout but safer payout. So,
if you want to take that approach, sure. The reality and something I've told multiple people.
The whole point of the BRM and the ESS was that if you went into the ESS and fought for the ISK that was in the bank, instead of just docking up and hoping that some white knight would come save you, whether you win or whether the other guy wins, the BRM goes up and the ratting becomes better in that system, which means you make more money, which means the bank fills up, which means thieves come, which means you fight the thieves. The BRM, I'm not saying go in there with a fucking blinged out paladin or like a faction fit nightmare.
Fucking
take your shitty ratting Ishtar that you used to use for havens and just fucking go in there with that. Take a bunch of caracals. Take a fucking whatever.
I've won a fight.
Go
with
do
Ibis.
something.
I've won a 1v1 fight with an Ibis before.
Well,
yeah,
okay.
It was versus another Ibis. So
I'm gonna go ahead and just say, do not run into battle with your crab ship. There's a lot of newer players that do that, and they're like, I don't know how to make money anymore. And they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
And they're
yeah.
like, I got into PvP with my ship, and it was like, why did you take that ship? And they were like, it was what I was in. It's like, no. That's your money maker. Set that aside and grab something else if you have the means. I just want
I think
to teach the
I don't think you have to be a white knight to GF in local.
Yeah, no.
I think a GF can be given by anybody.
Yeah.
I give a GF when I get
Win or
ganked.
lose. Absolutely.
Yeah, I give a GF every time I die, or every time I finish a fight, whatever it is.
I am honestly offended when I fight somebody and they don't give me a GF at the end.
How dare?
So
How
here's
dare.
something that I'm not greatly aware of, but I have become aware of because of, like, I guess just the greater internet gaming community. So there are some games or some mediums where apparently people like GF and GG and things in like a quote unquote like a toxic way. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, I can imagine scenarios, but like for the most part, like what the fuck?
I never
like,
see
you
a
went out
G-
looking for PvP and you got PvP. Good fight. Like, thanks that's what I was doing. I was trying to PvP.
I think that comes to interpretation because there is other games. So I mean, like there's GF in Eve. A lot of other games go with GG. League of Legends is an example. Like there are a lot of people in League of Legends that think that saying GG at the end of the match when you're the victor, like you've beat them and you won, and you say hey GG. They take that as an offensive. It's like, I'm not trying to be offensive.
And
I'm
they
just
should
saying,
fucking thicken that skin.
It's like, yo, did we not all play, sports as a kid? In
Yeah, but that's
school?
League, and it's like the most toxic game out there.
Dude, I've heard terrible things.
Well, it actually, it is. I would not disagree. Here's the thing: people talk about how toxic EVE Online is. League of Legends is like double that at least.
Dude, I've heard those people are mean to each other.
Like League of Legends is
like, people in
fucking,
Eve. Like at the end of the day, we have a heart.
It's fucking awful. I mean, like I have a thick skin, and sometimes I get like tilted as fuck on League of Legends because of what people say. It's like I would not disagree. Like League of Legends is probably the most toxic fucking online game I've ever played in my life, as far as the people's chat goes. It's pretty fucking bad. But I'm saying like there are people that they'll take, you're like, hey, good game, and they're like, and they take that as like being offensive and like toxic. It's like, I'm not being toxic. I'm saying like, yo, thanks for the game. Yeah, I guess I won, but I would say GG if I lost too. So I'm just saying, hey,
Little League.
It's like, yeah,
slap hands.
it's like, yo, it's like, thanks for the game. Like, I won, you lost, or I lost, you won. Doesn't matter. It's like, good game.
If it was shit, I would have quit before the end.
If I was like GG easy, that's the one thing that I don't like in that game. People are like, oh, GG easy. It's like,
easy clap.
Because at that point there's like, oh, good.
Then you're being an asshole.
You all sucked, and like we beat you easily. It's like at that point it's like, there's no. I don't get tilted from that, but at the same time it's like
it's not a mutual
there's
respect.
No need for that. Like why you gotta be like that? Like. You won the game. Why you gotta sit there and be like, GG, you were fucking easy, you suck. It's like, dude. Like,
I already knew I was trash.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, like,
GG, easy game. Fuck
yeah,
them.
like again, like my it's not like my
But
feelings
these-
get
but
hurt
these
from
are-
that, but
these
at
are
the same
kids who've
time, it's
never
like,
played
yo,
team
like,
sports
why you
before.
gotta
That's
be
why.
a dick?
That's
Like,
true. They
It's
have pretty much killed
unnecessary.
team
You already won. Why you gotta be a dick like that? And I guess like it's a tactic. Like it's because they want to tilt you for your next game. And the thing is, like,
because it's the internet.
but it's
Why
like,
not
but
just
you're
piss
not
people
gonna
off?
play me in my next game. But if I do that and everyone else does that, then if you're tilted for your next game and your next game is against me and you're already tilted, you're worse against me. And like that's like the tactic that they fucking go with. It's like, wow, I mean, like that is some like actually like horrendous like type of mentality to like that is actually like, a really piss poor personality type to have, in my opinion.
I'm just imagining Drayden playing
Like,
games at a
good
45-degree
Lord,
angle.
You're strategizing being an asshole to benefit yourself in the possibility of the next game. Like, holy shit! Like that's
Pay it forward.
That's the next level of like piece of shit level, in my opinion. But anyway, I don't know.
Isn't it crazy that we have like a unique moral code within or ethical code within Eve?
I mean, at least there's something like that.
There's
I mean,
toxicity here, just like anywhere, but like
there
I think it's
is.
less
It can
so,
be
and
pretty
like
bad, but
I think there's a lot more availability for mutual respect than people
yeah,
give us
I mean,
credit for.
it's the fucking. And the other thing is, like, League of Legends has a younger. You know, the average age of people playing EVE is much higher than the average age of people playing League of Legends. League of Legends, like, you have a lot of like fucking 12-year-olds, 15-year-olds, like angsty fucking teenager kids that are going through puberty and shit, and like gotta like vent their whatever the fuck sexual frustrations on the rest of the game or whatever. I don't know. That's probably not what it is, but I'm just saying, like, it's just. I'm a pretty laid back fucking person. And I just don't really understand like the interest or desire for people on the internet to like shit on everyone else and like piss everyone else off. It's like why do you enjoy that? Like why is that something you enjoy?
At the
'Cause
same
they
time,
haven't played team sports before.
seeing the salt mines that come out of people sometimes is its own fun and unique experience. But it's not usually for like petty reasons.
I
think.
agree
It's
here.
usually when people are like vastly unaware with what the culture is.
Yeah, I agree with Hero Max. Like, League is full
There's-
of kids that haven't got their asses kicked. That's probably true.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, haven't played team sports before. It means like haven't had to line up and then shake the hand of the guy who kicked the
Yeah,
shit out of you.
imagine if you're an actual like physical person to person sports and you're like, well, so like GG fucking easy, bro. Like,
yeah.
You probably get popped.
You might say
Okay,
that,
right.
and then someone's like gives you a dirty look, and you might say that and get your ass fucking flattened on the floor. That's why people don't say
Tensions
that.
run high post
It's
game.
like that's why you don't do that in real life, but on the internet, you're like, oh, I got this whole protection. It's like you're a fucking coward if you have to hide behind the anonymity of the internet to be a dick to people. Like, what a fucking
Some people
coward
just do it to
move.
be silly though too.
Yeah,
like
I
it's such a weird gray like scale of, or just a spectrum of
Yeah, it's
reasoning
like
why people would be assholes.
It's one of those things like you say that online chat. Would you say that to my face? You probably wouldn't. Even if I wasn't some big intimidating person, you probably just wouldn't. Because like, oh,
Trey, and I wouldn't talk shit to your face. You're much larger than me.
well, but you know though. But I'm just saying, like, even without that, like,
But if I didn't,
regardless of the
you better
size,
bet I would.
regardless of the size or anything, like people just wouldn't do that because there is the risk and threat of like retaliation right then and there. You don't have that on the internet, and so people are like, I could be a dick and it's fine. It's like, but why do you want to be a dick? I mean, I just don't get that mentality. It's like I don't like being when I'm an asshole. There's times I've been an asshole unintentionally, and I get that, but it's like I feel bad about it. So like I don't intentionally try to be an asshole to people because it's like I feel fucking like it doesn't feel good acting like that. I don't like being like that. So I don't get why other people are like, oh, I enjoy being a dick on the internet. It's like, congrats, I guess. I don't know, like, good for you. Anyway, that's my rant. That wasn't much of a rant, but that's a minor rant. But I just, oh man, the fucking internet, dude.
It's such a silly place.
It's a silly place.
People, am I right?
Knights of the
Am I
Round
right?
Table, we dance wherever we're able. Is that what you're getting at?
No,
Oh, I thought you were talking about Camelot.
I didn't know the references.
I started watching that the other night on Netflix, and my wife made me turn it off.
Really?
She was like, "Put on something on Netflix so that I can fall asleep listening to the TV." I'm like, okay.
She didn't want to fall asleep to Holy Grail?
No.
Wait, is Holy
She was
Grail
like-
on Netflix?
Yeah. So she was like, "What the
Oh.
fuck is this?" And then it got to the
Really?
musical part where they were like, "The Knights of the Round
Fucking
Table."
Monty Python.
And she's like, "Turn this stupid shit off."
Wow, that's rough.
Man, that's like one of the best fucking movies ever.
I don't know how y'all feel about subtitles, but the friggin'
like it?
president of Ukraine show is on Netflix now, and it's
Ukraine?
actually pretty
Oh,
Ukraine. It's actually pretty entertaining.
Wait, he's got a TV show?
He was an actor before he
Yeah,
became
he
president of their
was.
country.
Yeah.
And
the
his
show that
show-
he was on was a show about an actor that becomes the president.
About a
Oh.
teacher who becomes the president.
Yeah, wasn't there
but
a
he's
thing,
an actor who becomes the president.
wasn't there
so
a
it was
thing
very
where
funny
they
scene.
denied his request to join NATO? He's like, motherfucking fuck! And he started freaking out.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No,
Maybe.
I thought I saw a clip of that, and it was like,
Was it
hey,
from the show?
Thank you for like your application to NATO. You've been declined. He's like, motherfucker!
Oh.
And he threw his phone down. He's like swearing, and it's like, oh shit! Like,
I think I might have seen what
Premonition.
you're talking about, but I haven't seen it in the show yet.
or what is it? Fuck! I've been reading a lot of, well, not reading, but like listening to Audible, the Dune series. good set of books, long set of books, but pretty good.
This most recent watching, now granted, I'm familiar with pop culture version of Dune, just in like the characters.
The
and seeing
newer
them and
movie
things.
is so.
This is my first experience with Dune. This new movie.
So, it's good night, Thesh. It's good. Like as compared to any other rendition of Dune, it's the closest to the books there is. It's really solid, and I love the Dune movie. There is obviously differences and things they skip over, and that's the thing. To the first Dune book, even splitting it up into 2 parts is so long that you could honestly almost do like a 3 or 4 part 2 to 3 hour movie section of the first book. There's that much in it. But the thing is, like, they won't do that, because if you did that, the first 2 parts, like, each individual part would be so long and drawn out with boring philosophical introspection that it just wouldn't make a good movie. People wouldn't watch it. So they have to now. I always thought it was Denis Villeneuve, but I guess he's French, so it's Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
Yeah, but anyway, so he did an excellent job of taking the first book, at least part 1, and trying to hold as much as he can to the book's legitimacy, while also making it interesting and captivating enough to like keep people's attention. So, with being as long as it was, but
yeah,
the Dune books get like, so I listened to the first one, the second one, which is Dune Messiah, and then I'm in the middle of the third one, which is Children of Dune. And I have looked at other Dune lore, because I'm one of those people that's like, oh, I'm interested in this, I want to find all the lore, I want to know it all. And so I started looking at all this lore and everything, which is given a shitload of spoilers from the next like 3 Dune books, because there's like God Emperor of Dune, Heretics of Dune, and then Chapter House Dune is like the next 3. And I kind of know the story for the rest of them, and it's fucking crazy. It's not like it's almost like what you're seeing in the Dune movie right now, like, is so far in the past and like almost has no bearing. It kind of does technically, but like by the time you get to like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th books, it's like the shit that's happening now in the Dune universe with the first movie. It's like that shit is like so far in the past, it doesn't even fucking matter anymore. Like that's like, that's like us talking about like, here's our current situation with our government, and talking about the like, British colonization of North America in like the 1600s. It's like, yeah, but okay, like I guess that does have an effect in our current situation now. It has, because that was like the start, but like our current politics don't rely on that anymore. They have nothing to do with that. So it's kind of like that. It's like it shows this evolution of the whole human race and the empire and the galaxy altogether, like moving through epochs of importance, and showing how much that the past does have an influence on the future, but also is not that important to the future anymore, type of thing. It's also really philosophical at the same point, and it's like, I knew that Dune was like a very popular series, but now that I've been like listening to it, I'm like, holy shit, there's like so many. Because Frank Herbert, that wrote it, was an anthropologist and a bunch of other like, he was like this, a bunch of like social science type stuff. And so like, and you see it in his books where he just focuses a lot of this whole like social and societal like themes and progressions and all this stuff, all kinds of philosophical stuff that gets put into it. It's like, holy shit, this is actually like insightful at some points, and also at some points like really infuriating. But then it's like, oh, it's infuriating, this shit's going on like this, but then you see that like, well, but yeah, that's how government structures work, and you hate to see it, but it happens, and it's kind of a really it's one of those like, I see why they put the Dune series as like something above your average writing of sci-fi.
Right. It's definitely well thought of.
Yeah, there was a really good quote I saw from this guy. It's not even from the books themselves. It's from this guy that does YouTube stuff on Dune. Quinn's Ideas or Quinn's Thoughts, or I forget the channel name. It's Quinn something. And it was basically talking about the last book, and it was a single sentence that like kind of resonated. It's all about the Bene Gesserit, their pragmatism towards government. And they're saying like hierarchical bureaucratic government is always at risk, not because absolute power corrupts absolutely, but because power attracts the corruptible. And I was like, holy shit. Yeah. I mean, like, that's a good point. I like that take. And it's sad that that's very true. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to bed. There's a big storm rolling in, so I'm going to turn this thing
Shit. Yeah. It's about time, too.
Hey, man. Be safe.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Yeah, I think it's oh. The names are already set. It's always you and me on the last end of it.
Nice.
But yeah, so we can close down. We can watch something if we want. I know I was talking about Goodfellas. There's that, but at the same time, there's multiple things that we could watch. The new Love, Death, and Robots. I kind of want to watch the Obi-Wan Kenobi thing.
I don't foresee seeing any more of them, so I don't consider it a spoiler, but I don't know if anybody else has any concern. I don't keep up with any of the like extended Star Wars stuff outside of 1 through 6, so like.
I mean, it's not a spoiler. It won't be a spoiler. It's its own.
Well, if I was gonna watch anything else, or like if other people, I don't know, whatever.
I mean, like, yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi is its own standalone thing. So this is the first episode, so it wouldn't be a spoiler for anything. The Love, Death, and Robots is there. It's an anthology, so it's all standalone stories themselves as well. So, I kind of want to watch the Obi-Wan thing, to be honest. So
yeah,
I'm down for that. All right, so anyone that wants to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 1 that just came out today, we're gonna go watch that. So if you want to watch it, down below the Twitch window, there's a About Open Comms. To the right, there's a Twitter and a Discord button.
I don't see the. Oh, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah, click the Discord. That will get you into the Discord channel, and you can watch the. We're gonna go into the movie channel or movie voice Discord thing down there. Join that channel. We'll be down there to watch the movie soon. But also, the rest of you that don't want to watch it, we're gonna raid someone. I want to get in the habit of raiding other channels, and there's a channel I have to raid. Large Quaif 0. So we're gonna do a raid on that real quick, and then we'll go and watch the movie after that. Make sure I spelled it right. Yep. All right, so we're gonna get the raid going, and then we'll watch the movie for anyone that's going to the Discord.